The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this American Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, this program begins now.
America!
He's celebrating a day of birth tomorrow, and shout out to this land for being around, obviously, since 1776. July 4th, we called a shot. It wasn't for some time after July 4th, 1776 that we actually became the country of the United States of America, and tomorrow we will celebrate it. We will have a brew or two for the red, the white, and the blue-hoo. And we're feeling even better because of what the United States men's national team did last night. And obviously we take on Mexico now in the CONCACAF Gold Cup finals on Sunday night in Houston, Texas. United States versus Mexico. Feels like a wonderful thing to be happening.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time, when there was a hockey game played between the United States and Canada. At that time, felt like a pretty similar relationship to what's going on maybe in some of the world right now. USA-Mexico on Sunday night is going to bring our world together for a moment. We are going to celebrate the hell out of the great sport of soccer coming to America in a big way. Obviously, we're hosting the Super Duper World Club Cup thing from FIFA, $100 million to the winning team.
Awesome.
Currently hosting the Gold Cup. We got the World Cup coming to the United States of America. And don't look now, we got a team.
We got a team.
Yeah. We got some dogs. Now, we're obviously missing some of our best players. You drop a few of them into what we have right now cooking under Coach Poch, and I will tell you one thing. This team is more electrifying than we've been in some time, and that dude, Diego Luna, is an absolute menace. Born in California. Every time he scores or does anything, he goes right to the United States of America crest on his chest. He hasn't really had the opportunity to be a part of this national team for some time. Came onto the stage here in January in this brand new era of soccer with Coach Poch, who has had success in the past and also looking for his own team, has been able to showcase some different stars in the United States soccer world that maybe didn't have an opportunity in the past because maybe they didn't know the right people, didn't have enough money maybe to go to these meetings to make friends with the right people in the U.S. soccer organization as a whole. And what Poch has done is he said, I want all the dogs. And they've gone to this Gold Cup as complete underdogs going in. Love that. Absolutely. Everything about them. They got moxie, they got swag, and they got a toughness about them. Now, granted, in the second half, they've been giving away the game a little bit to the other team, and they can make it a lot closer than they need to. But Diego Luna, Tillman, Berhalter, Freeze in the back. And who's up top there? The striker up, who's 9 up top? What's his name?
They got Malik Tillman and Ajamang, the big guy up top.
Ajamang.
Yeah.
Like, we're learning about a lot of new guys here going in the World Cup. I like what our team is. Now, Alexi Lawless says Sunday against Mexico, massive underdogs.
Yeah.
Because this is the Mexican team, I guess. This is the one that has been together for a long time. The United States of America are in a huge turnover, transition phase. It's actually been documented as a little bit of a beef because Coach Poch has come in here and rattled the entire system. We got a team, big win last night. Excited to watch them. We'll talk to Diego Luna in about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Fresh off a 2-goal night against, a very, very stat-wall multi.
Yeah, without a doubt, great side.
They were gamey out there.
Yeah.
Chippy.
They weren't just giving it to us. Then I watched Mexico, Honduras. That one was a close battle as well. A good night of soccer last night. Late, that second game.
Oh, yeah.
I think it ended at like midnight. It was keeping me up. I'm watching soccer. I looked at the clock. I'm like, I'm watching soccer.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? Go to bed. We can catch this in the morning, but that game was a great game. I'm appreciative of what soccer's doing, and shout out to Diego Luna joining us. We'll also have Jet Passon joining us in about an hour and 5 minutes or so. A lot of baseball coming down the pipe here in the summer, obviously. And breaking news, we will be live from, I believe it's called the Roxy Theater, which is connected to Truist Park down there in Atlanta, Monday, the day of the Home Run Derby. Shout out to the MLB.
Hell yeah!
For inviting us. Obviously, the All-Star Game is on Tuesday. Monday is the Home Run Derby. It's a spectacle of baseball, and obviously the Home Run Derby is the most electrifying sporting event year in, year out. Obviously, Super Bowl, let's have a real conversation here. Mm-hmm. But whenever it comes to like me as non-baseball fan growing up as kid, non-baseball player growing up as kid, Home Run Derby is constant, especially in the world that we're in now. All you got is big bops, big dongs, big moments, and it's quick. So if you're ADD, which I happen to be, it's just a bang, boom, bada, ba, ba, ba. Every year, there's something magical that comes out of it. This year, Kyle Rowley, big dumpers competing. He's leading the entire big leagues in home runs. Is he going to walk out of there a star, or are we going to get some new face that makes a name for themselves in a home run derby? Shout out to the MLB making that happen. Very much shout out to the MLB making that happen. They actually had to come in and say, yeah, they're allowed. We would like them to come. Because maybe there were some other people that have the rights to the home run derby.
Sure.
I guess territorial, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would they be territorial?
We're all
kind of in the same territory.
That's what I thought that was the entire thing. The MLB was like, we would love to have you guys come. And they were very thankful. And we are a group of people that has certainly said our things about people in all sports, especially if a situation arises.
Sure.
We feel obligated to have to do as such. The people that watch this show say, you guys just say it how it is. People come up to me and they're like, we appreciate your show. You guys just say it how it is. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I think what they mean is, if something's very dumb, we have to acknowledge it. We try to stay positive. We try to make a joke out of a lot of things. We try to point out that life in sport, very different, and how serious is this really? We're not trying to cure cancer. We're not trying to do these types of things. We're just doing sports. But when the commissioner says a piece of metal is the trophy that they're trying to win, we got it. We have to.
Great.
And we did for a long time. I mean, we really. So the fact that he, I believe, had to be like, we would love to have it. We're very thankful. Bygones be bygones. And I actually hope that we get a chance to get the story out of that entire thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance he's talking off mic, which I think it was. It was kind of talking to a friend of his. I think it's called the Commissioners.
It is. Yep.
So maybe he was just doing, I'll be excited to maybe meet these people in the baseball world. And it's been fun to learn about. So I'm very, very thankful. So Jet Passon will join us in about an hour and 4 minutes. And then 12:30, we have a massive commitment happening. We've been a part of a few of these now.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody announces what college they're going to play for, that's a huge day in their family's life. Now, I know there's transfer portal stuff nowadays and NIL, and a lot of people think that a lot of these things have maybe lost meaning, but I disagree. Whenever somebody who has worked their entire life to get to a moment, to get an opportunity to extend not only their sporting career, but their education, and they get that moment with their family, and their friends and their coaches, hey, it all paid off. We have conquered this step. We'll go to the next one. Not a lot of people get to do that, okay? The percentages of people that are getting a scholarship to go play at the next level, I know we see a lot of people, because obviously it's more than the people that get into the NFL and everything like that. There's a lot of high school football players that don't get a chance to play in college, or they're paying their own way to go to college. So that commitment day is always going to be a big day in the family's history. The fact that we've been a part of so many now at this point is wild to me still. It's like we try to pay our respects, because I've had the opportunity to have one of those days, and it was a big day for me, my dad, my family. That was a massive day for us. So we're going to have another commitment today, and we would like to let all these in. I don't think I'd ever be a good college football coach, because it'd be tough for me to care if a 17-year-old wanted to join my operation or not.
Sure.
No offense to any 17-year-olds, just like, I don't care. You don't want to come, we don't want you. Type thing would be which is why I'm not a college football coach. But these college football coaches, they are recruiting all the time. So the team's allowing us to be a part of the moment too. We're very, very thankful. And to the kids that let us do it, the 17-year-olds, we're very appreciative to be a part of it. College football is right around the corner.
So it is.
Football is right around the corner.
Right there.
Let's head to the toxic table. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt are here. Ty, seemingly no longer Ty Sr., just normal Ty Schmidt from the program.
Yep.
Sitting next to you, coolest guy of all time? Is that what we have going on here?
Yeah, and I don't even think it's particularly close. I mean, we knew about the leather jacket. This hair
this hair and glasses combo just takes it to the next level.
So what are we thinking? Today's the day I decide to be the coolest guy that's ever walked this earth, or what?
I want to put my best foot forward since I'm not going to see you guys for a little bit, so I want to make sure you remember me in all my glory. Unfortunately, these cigarettes aren't lit at the moment, so maybe after the show, after the show, you guys, we could all kind of hang around the fire, maybe smoke a cigarette or two, like we did back when America was America. But yeah, and I'm doing well. Just happy to be here, happy to be alive, happy to have this jacket in my life.
Happy 4th of July to you, buddy.
Happy 4th of July to you, my friend.
I'll tell you what, I think your ancestors would be proud of what's going on right now.
I sure hope so. That's kind of what it's all about every day. Wake up.
Cool sunglasses.
Thank you. I love these ones. Yeah, I don't really wear them for no particular reason. These are special occasion sunglasses, but in here with this jacket, with this hair,
American Thursday,
it kind of is a special occasion.
Yeah. I thought Ty was going to maybe keep the mustache. I guess you're going to be the only real mustache.
I don't know. I wouldn't count on that. I see a lot of people going mustaches lately, so I'm thinking maybe I go back to just beard. Maybe I go back to clean shaven. I don't know if we're there yet in the face, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the mustache, you could be seeing it on its last legs.
Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Dad.
Cowboys AP Tone. You don't have a mustache. There's a lot of mustaches nowadays, I guess. Is that what he's saying?
I mean, I know there's one that rules all, and it's that one a couple doors down from me.
Yeah, I think that is a good mustache right now.
I don't think he should look down on other mustaches and let them affect his mustache.
Good USA cap for you there.
Thank you. Ryder Cup.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Boom. Bethpage Black right there.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Tone, what are you gambling on over the next couple weeks here? Because the W, obviously, is... Big pop from the back.
Huge pop.
I don't know why I made that noise.
Big pop. Sound like you. By the way, don't feel forced to.
Yeah.
If you.
There are some things, okay? JD Classic, the John Deere Classic starts today. That's in the PGA.
JD to me is John Daly, so I just would like to make sure that.
You tie them all together. You tie them all together.
John Deere Daly.
It is. It's a star-studded field. Some may say for the John Deere Classic starting today. There's also baseball every single day that you can bet on, which we're still doing. We're still rolling on first fives and stuff like that. And then we have the second fortnight of Wimbledon coming up. So that's and the W. If you'd like to dabble in the W, there's still There's always something out there for gamblers. If you feel like it, I would recommend. Not just throwing your money away on stuff you don't know about, but if you know about these sports, these are good sports to get in on.
We are in a March Madness time period where don't know anything about what's going on, but can get a little action on something.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, one little piece of action turns into next, and then the next, and then all of a sudden you're down a few 100,000, whatever you are down,
Sure.
and you look back and you go, why don't I just throw my money in the trash betting on things that I don't know about? That's what we're in right now with people that aren't baseball people.
Yes.
Because those first fives are seemingly the way to bet baseball.
Yes.
Because that's the starters, you would think. So you have a little bit of a consistency on what you can read. But those starters can get pulled.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that can change Baseball, I think, is tough to bet on, personally.
Oh, yeah.
Especially whenever teams are up 8-0. I had no idea you could come back from 8-0 in the baseball. That is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That game with the Yankees last night in Toronto was up 8-0 at one point in baseball, and the Yankees make a full run for it. And absolute heartbreaking that we can't celebrate that for you Yankees. Are you guys still stinking? The Yankees still stink.
Yeah, big time. They are tied with the Blue Jays now for the lead in the AL East, and the Tampa Bay Rays are only a game and a half. About a month ago, Yankees had like an 8.5 game lead, so they played like absolute dog shite all June pretty much. But we'll see. This is kind of every baseball team, or most teams will go through this. You have to respond from this slump. They still got about a week to go before the All-Star break, so if you can string together a couple wins, they turn around. The Yankees and Mets have a series over 4th of July. I believe the game on 4th of July is on ESPN, so if they can string together a couple victories.
And both those teams suck right now.
Right now, yes, like bad.
So we're going 0-0. We're going 0-0 extra innings, probably.
No, because it really, shit, you saw the Yankees yesterday. I mean, you should win most games. You put up 9 runs. It's just unfortunately when you give up 11, You're not going to win a whole lot of those games. And Juan Soto was just the NL Player of the Month for June. So like I said, I've been saying this for he's going to start going here. So he's coming on a little bit. We'll see. You got to be playing decent and give yourself a chance after the trade deadline.
The All-Star starters were announced. Obviously, here's the American League starters. Congratulations to friend of the program, Cal Raleigh, getting the catching position. And shout out to everybody that voted for him after Big Dumper came on the program. Is this who is expected to be the starters for the All-Star team?
Yeah, I think so. There were maybe a couple guys who had a gripe that they weren't the starter, but again, it's fan voting, so that has quite a bit to do with it. But shout out, Foxy. We got 3 Detroit Tigers in the starting lineup. Who knows when the last time that happened? Probably has been forever. But outside of that, yeah, I'd say this is pretty chalk.
In the National League.
Same deal. You got 3 Dodgers on there. Yep. And then you got, a couple Cubs on there, 2 Cubs. You got the hometown kid and Ronald Acuna. Technically, he's not from Atlanta, but he plays for them. So yeah, the roster, all the best teams, the rosters are kind of dominated by those guys. So I think the MLB got it right. Again, the All-Star game is one of those things where it's not really gimmicky. You're going to get an actual baseball game. So the guys we would expect to potentially hit home runs and play well. Same applies here.
Huge win for the Dodgers last night, and history was made for Matthew Stafford's high school friend.
Yeah, that's right. Clayton Kershaw picked up his 3,000th strikeout, which, as we kind of, as pitching changes and starters aren't going as long as they used to, there is a chance that he is the last guy ever to get 3,000 strikeouts. I think he's only the 3rd guy to do it all with one team. First ballot Hall of Famer, pitcher of his generation. Very cool moment because he had a lot of opportunities when his stuff wasn't quite as good. He could have went elsewhere, but to be able to do it with the Dodgers, his family there in the crowd, they came into the clubhouse afterwards and celebrated with him. It was a really, really cool moment.
Yeah, shout out to baseball having a lot of great stories this year.
Yeah.
It's early.
Yeah.
Baseball's having a lot of shit. We'll talk to Jet Passon an hour from now about anything else we should be keeping up with. Congrats, Clayton Kershaw. Way to go, bub. Way to go, Bob. Obviously, LA Dodgers. Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off, I believe, last night for a win in this moment. So, yeah, against the White Sox, who are historically terrible.
Yeah, they stink. They're not the worst team in baseball. The Colorado Rockies are right now, and they're trying to eclipse. The White Sox had the worst record in the history of baseball last year.
History of ball.
Yeah, in almost 150 years of playing baseball.
Worst team ever.
That's awesome.
That's happening in this day and age.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. So, but hey, White Sox.
That's awesome.
A little bit better this year. Now the Rockies are saying, you know what? Pump the brakes. We want to be the worst team in the history of baseball. So they're kind of going for that mantle as well.
I don't like that.
I don't mind the, records are meant to be broken. Any of them.
Exactly.
And the White Sox are like, we'll take the one that nobody wants. And then the Rockies. That was actually kind of cool you guys did that.
Yeah.
Because then if we build up from this, we're literally worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
And then now we're going to the top of it all.
Yeah, people are still going to Rockies games. I saw something.
Beautiful ballpark.
Yeah, there were a shit ton of people there, and the fact that they're that bad is ridiculous.
All right, let's do some NFL news that has happened. Congratulations to Dahn over there in Kansas City. The NFL's longest tenured mascot is officially hanging up the suit. Congratulations, Dan.
Oh yeah, Dan. Baby Donald.
So these mascots, I know Trey, who's obviously blue for the Indianapolis Colts, and he went to, I believe, mascot school at Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. They have a lot of mascots across the country. Trey created blue, pitched it to the Colts. Colts were looking for a mascot, created the mascot, has run the mascot program. And Blue has 270 shows a year or something like that, where he's going to elementary schools, high schools, events. Obviously, he runs the TikTok. He does all his social content. During the game, I think they just give him, hey, you got 5 timeouts where you got to figure out the entertainment for the entire stadium. This dude's throwing footballs off the top. He's doing big. He's like a full-time creator. I would assume the same is for Dan. I've never met Dan personally. I don't know how many people have known that he is necessarily the Chiefs mascot, but the amount of creativity that they have. Obviously, you're a mascot, so you're signing up to do a job that not a lot of people would do. Nick Morale was Charles E. Chester whenever he was in high school, and he decided never to do it again.
The ultimate honor.
Charles Entertainment Cheese, thank you.
Okay, yeah, of course. Chuck.
Yes.
Chuck E. Cheese. So congrats to Dan on a hell of a run, but it's not just just showing up on game day. I assume He's going to every elementary school in the state. He's going to, because when the Colts need representation somewhere, blue is sent to it. So I assume the Chiefs have done the same thing. So for 30-plus years doing that, thank you for your commitment to ball. I assume the Hunt family says thank you for your commitment to the Chiefs. And hell of a run, bro. That's a long time in a suit. The amount of weight he has lost in that suit, I couldn't even fathom if you were to do the math of it. Because each game, I think Trey's like 8 pounds, maybe 9 pounds, because sweating in there. Now, granted, Kansas City gets a little cold.
But
Think about how happy he was in that Dolphins playoff game to be in that suit. Dano's retiring, but does that mean that whole mascot is gone, or is there going to be a new Dahn?
I would assume they sub a new man for Dahn in the costume. Now, we know who it's not going to be.
Yeah. Wow.
There's been some news out of the superfan world of the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we all know X Factor and Red Extreme have had their incidents in the past of the superfans of the Kansas City Chiefs. We've actually got a news clip that we've all seen of, I believe, X Factor coming out of the hospital after he had broken his ribs walking next to a gas station with a red cheese head on.
Yep.
And he got beat up by Red Extreme, actually, who's another superfan. And X Factor was not happy about it, obviously. But the Chiefs have maybe the wildest situation in their super fans community, mostly because of one, Chiefsaholic. Chiefsaholic was a wolf who was very prevalent around town. For those that don't know the story, you should look up Chiefsaholic. It is worthy. It is, I believe there's a documentary about it. We covered it in real time. We were very lucky that we kind of found out about it. The whole world found out about it, but when we learned about it, it was right in this human inside the wolf costume was actually robbing banks to get money to go to Chiefs games, okay? Like going on the way to an away game. How much money is front row seat for this game? Because need to get to Wolf.
Obviously.
Wolf needs to get in there. We're talking full commitment, this guy. He wanted to be known as the Chiefs' superest fan. So he was robbing banks to do this. We've learned it's 11 banks across 3 different states, I believe. 8 different states, sorry. And he got sentenced in May, and we have not done the update. He's getting 32 years in prison in Oklahoma.
Correct.
And then there's another 17-year sentence that's happening as well. So a potential 49 years in prison, if we're reading the terms right, for Chiefsaholic, who we assume 49 is a long time. We don't know how old he is. We have seen him run before.
So fast.
Because at a couple of fan events, he actually ran, his legs would run sideways. He was somehow moving forward. They did potentially catch him from the gate when he was running from a bank. Like, that's got to be that wolf. That's got to be that wolf. We are not 100% sure if he was wearing the Chiefsaholic costume when he was doing these robberies. But the thought is, this guy loved Chiefs football more than anybody else. So much so that he just apparently started sticking guns in people's faces and getting enough money together. So that's some journalism there that we didn't really complete the story arc, I don't think, of this guy because we're on the beat since the beginning. He loved Patrick Mahomes. Loved watching Travis Kelce play football.
More than anyone.
These Andy Reid offenses, he needed to see it. He is a guy that is a little bit too committed to the ball. We respect his fanhood, but obviously, a danger to society. His obsession is a danger to society. And that's what I guess the jury of his peers said. Did we expect 49 years in jail? I'm not 100% sure, or 32 at least in Oklahoma. I don't know if that's what we were thinking. We all thought, I think it was $800,000 in total.
Correct.
So, because obviously he's saying, he goes SeatGeek, I assume, try to get the best deal.
It helped.
But I mean, $800,000 in tickets to games, 49 years, if we're reading it right, in jail. Wild story that we should talk about in the football world for decades to come about this guy.
Yeah, I definitely, I was thinking maybe, 10 years, I don't know what the normal statute of limitations is.
Yeah, we're not law experts.
Exactly. But then you see, okay, this was 8 states. This is a federal case. This guy was doing it basically across like the entire Southwest and into the Midwest a little bit too. then you kind of get a clearer picture.
There was a lot of people pissed at this guy.
A lot of people. This guy was a menace to like
a lot of victims too. Think about the bankers they were at credit union banks, I believe, right? 11 different credit union banks. So we assumed that he had a tip on a credit union or knew something about a credit union. It was like, maybe this is a smaller bank, we can attack this. Think about the people that are working in those things though. That's still a moment that they probably get PTSD for. Got in there. I mean, it's just like, and that's happening in 8 different states. So you got 8 different governments being like, hey, not doing it here.
Yeah.
Not doing it here. That's a long time. Don't be robbing banks. Okay, we would like to make an official statement.
Right.
Don't be sticking guns in people's faces, especially in the name of football, which I feel like Chiefsaholic was doing. But Jesus Christ, if you're a Kansas City Chief player, what people are willing to do to watch you play ball.
That's right.
That should be some sort of compliment.
They should probably be accessory to the crime.
Zito just showed me a picture of his lawyer here on the screen. I do remember him.
Oh, yeah. He's good. Best in the business.
Yeah. Almost got him off.
I don't think so. All right, let's pivot away from that. So congrats to Dan with the Kansas City Chiefs mascot career coming to an end after 30-plus years. And Chiefsaholic, you had to know.
Yeah.
You couldn't just be running sideways around, bank to bank, doing that. You can't. He was like very popular. I guess he was buying paintings at these Chiefs foundations.
He had a lot of spare cash.
Yeah, like he legit. You got to get rid of this. Yeah, give me.
He was cleaning it.
Yeah, give me the Mahomes and Kelsey painting for sure. I'll take all of that. Like he was living a rock star life out there in Kansas City. Obviously, it all comes crashing down. Also, this video from or this answer from Jonnu Smith after Arthur Smith was let go from the Atlanta Falcons. Jonnu was obviously on the Falcons whenever he was there. He is now a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers in a trade from the Miami Dolphins alongside Jalen Ramsey with Minkah Fitzpatrick heading back down there. And Pittsburgh Steelers fans are pumped to get another weapon. Obviously got Freiermuth, who's currently out in Malibu right now hanging with Aaron and the boys, which we will certainly dive into. But adding this weapon to the offense of Pittsburgh Steelers, fun to think about. Then you hear this answer and it's like, oh, this guy's ready to go war for Arthur Smith.
What was most important to me was, being with them, throughout my whole NFL career mostly, and hearing him say, whenever you need me, man, my number will never change. And that's who he is since the first day I met him, and that's I can truly, stamp that. You know what I mean? So he'll be there for anybody, man. He'll bend over backwards for, the people he loved. And I don't know how many interviews I did about Art. But true, I can't do enough, man. He's been extremely instrumental in my journey in the NFL, going into my 8th season. And, this guy is he's still here, man. It's crazy. I just think about that time we met at the Senior Bowl when I was 21 years old. And, here I am, I'll be 30 next year. And, he's still right here. So it doesn't happen a lot in this game.
Jonnu and Arthur Smith, don't know if they're related, but I do know they have a lot of love for each other, apparently. Steelers fans have to love hearing that, and obviously it makes a lot more sense now why this was a target for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I don't know if they're blood related or not, but it does feel like they are brothers either way. Obviously, knowing each other since Jonnu was 21 is insane, and then being with each other at the Titans, the Falcons, and now again at the Steelers, everyone talks about their bromance together, and I'm just pumped because, Jonnu is going to be Artie Smith's queen of the chessboard. So last year, Jonnu was in line. He was in line, just typical normal tight end, 134 snaps. He was in the slot, 232 snaps, and out wide, 120 snaps.
Woo!
So he plays all over the place, and people talked about, the Steelers need another big play wide receiver. Jonnu is going to be this in Artie Smith. Artie likes to do things with his tight ends like this, moving them around in different spots. I'm very, very excited to see what they do together this season.
Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers seemingly going all in, and every Yinzer in Pittsburgh saying, here we go. Steelers, here we go. I think you guys do think.
Yeah, and I tell you what.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Here we go.
I think there's Yinzers that I think they're in.
I was already, as high as I could possibly be on the Steelers until I heard Sauce Gardner talk yesterday on this show about Aaron Rodgers, and boy, it just pushed me even farther.
Called him a wizard, brother.
All in.
You got a wizard playing quarterback in Pittsburgh. They're adding weapons. They're adding people on the defensive side. Is T.J. Watt's deal ever going to get done?
I don't think so.
Doubt it.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's done.
Is it by the time we get out there for training camp, we shall certainly keep an eye out for T.J. Watt, not a Pittsburgh Steeler. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
Especially with how much money is going to all these people.
Don't worry, he's under contract for another. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Okay. All right, you tell him that.
On paper.
I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to be a part of a moment that is gigantic, not only for the player, but his family, his community, and obviously this school that finds out that they are getting this absolute megastar. Now, I don't know if you know about this particular 2026 number 4 overall recruit from On3 because he's an offensive lineman. So it's hard to, I don't know if there's a lot of offensive linemen, high school kids that are getting the recognition that they should. If there's any of them that I have ever seen or heard of in my life, 6'7", 350 pounds, out of Baltimore, Maryland. He can squat over 600 pounds. He's going into his senior year next year. He's a junior. This is the class of 2026. That is next year. He's coming to a high school near you. Coming 6'7", 350, squats 600 plus pounds. Look at his knees. His ass just touched the ground.
Yeah.
You're talking about everything you could possibly want as a football player. Then you look at his reps. His athleticism is insane. He doesn't look like a 6'7" guy. He doesn't move like a 6'7" guy. But if you were to stand in front of him, you'd say, holy shit, look at this monster of a man. Ladies and gentlemen, to make his official commitment for where he will be playing college ball at, please welcome, out of Georgetown Prep in Maryland, an absolute beast, 5-star recruit with 34 different offers. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Iheanacho.
Yay!
Manny, what up?
How you guys doing? How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this. Did I say your last name right? Iheanacho.
Iheanacho. That was pretty close.
Iheanacho. Damn, I listened to 4 different videos.
Exactly.
Iheanacho. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry about that. I don't like getting people's last name wrong. Believe me, my last name's butchered all the time. Manny Iheanacho?
Yes, yeah.
We need to learn this name because it's going to be a big one for a long time. Okay, 34 recruits, 34 different scholarships. Obviously, everybody in the country has wanted you. From what we read on the internet, there was a Final 4 that you were allegedly warm with. Oregon, Penn State, LSU, Auburn, amongst other offers. You got Ohio State, Alabama, you name it. Every school that is in the college football world has offered Manny. And Manny, if you would like to let us know where you're headed, and then I can't wait to ask you some follow-up questions on why. Where are you going to play football at, brother?
Yes, sir. So first, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I'm nothing. I'd like to thank my coaches at the C School of Maryland, Georgetown Prep, and my trainer, Coach Najee Brown. With that being said, for the next 3 years, I'll be taking my talents to the University of Oregon.
Let's go, Dahn! Let's go, Dahn!
Let's go, Doug.
Okay, so you'll be heading out to beautiful Eugene. I mean, that place is glorious. Their fans, rabid. The chants, immaculate. In the Nike uniforms, better than everywhere else. Manny, obviously, every school wanted your services. Everybody wanted you to play tackle and represent their university. Ultimately, why was it Oregon? And I assume Coach Dan Lanning is incredibly pumped about this.
Yes, sir. I feel like, after being on all these campuses, Oregon really just felt right. There's a lot of great people on those campuses, but I feel like Oregon really had those the best people, best like-minded people, and really just the opportunity for me to play early was huge there. Coach Terry, had a law firm. Coach Terry, Coach Warmack, Coach Whip, Coach Cut, Coach Walk. All those guys, they just had Josh Connolly in the first round, so that's pretty big. I feel like just going all the way down here is going to be pretty tough, but I just know that it's going to be worth it at the end.
It's beautiful out there, man. I mean, it's far. Like, it is far. The flight, obviously, you've been there. You got a chance to see it. As you're flying out there, you're like, holy shit, we're still in America? I don't know how we're still in America. You're flying all the way. But when you land, how beautiful is it? I don't think a lot of people know because they obviously haven't made the trip. It's beautiful out there on that campus. Was that a surprise for you?
Yeah, it was a decent surprise, pleasant surprise my first time there. It's just very greeny, very earthy, It's nice. Like, it's very aesthetically pleasing, too. So, that helps, And I heard it rains a lot, but, the grass is damn green in Eugene. So,
It has to rain. I mean, that is literally how we get there. Well, congratulations, Manny. We appreciate you. We can't wait to follow your journey, and good luck with everything, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, future Oregon Duck. I'll say it, future NFL Hall of Famer. No pressure. You're gonna be able to figure it out. Hey, that's no distraction. You're on a one-way trip, brother. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Ihanacho.
Yeah, Manny!
Ihanacho. Shit. That's on me, Manny. That's on me. I appreciate you, man.
So I appreciate you guys. Have a good day, all you guys.
All right, good luck.
Thank
You're the
you,
man.
Manny.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah, Manny.
Ihanacho?
Ihanacho.
It's tough. It's tough.
You'll know it when he's getting picked in the first round for the Colts.
6'7", 350.
Did you see his mitts pop up in the?
That when he went on this screen here, when I looked at him on this screen, I'm like, this guy's gigantic. 6'7", 350 as a 17-year-old?
Yeah, those are the kids that they talk about where it's like, imagine being a senior in high school, finishing math class, and then having to get off the bus to go rush the passer against Manny at Hanacho. Like, that's the nightmare scenario. Look at that. That's Joe Alt, and they're talking about him being, the biggest guy in the NFL, and Manny's 17
But
years
also
old.
his work ethic, too. Like, obviously he has it.
He moves.
The size.
Uh-huh.
His work ethic is that you're squatting 600 pounds.
Yeah.
You don't just get to squatting 600 pounds, let alone the amount of weight on your back, no matter how big you are. So the amount of work he's obviously putting in is incredible at his age, especially with how gifted he is physically and all that from his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And it's like out there in Oregon too, you'll have all the best everything.
Yep.
Literally the best everything. And it's a lot of ball. Hey, let's do ball out here. So I don't know what the NIL deal is that he has going on. I'd assume it's gigantic, especially if you have 34 offers. That's good news because obviously business, you would like at least 2 offers so you can kind of make people compete against each other. I couldn't imagine 34 D1 schools all competing for my services, what that number is for him. And on that note, congratulations to him and his family.
Yeah.
And just keep working. Keep on working, Manny.
And watching those, he moves like a 6'2", 310 tackle. Like, that is absurd to watch.
Yeah, and normally when they're younger, they're obviously not as built. Everybody's not as built yet. So a little bit, I don't want to say sloppy, but it is.
Got your baby fat on you.
A little bit, yeah. You still got a little baby. You haven't become like an adult yet, man. And it's like he looks like he's
put together.
He looks like he's 28 years old.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I mean, this. I assume that this is some sort of big time camp with a lot of huge recruits, and he's dwarfing all these guys. And a lot of these guys are probably top 20 recruits, massive human beings. It is crazy to be that young and to be that big and that athletic.
I like how he's finishing though. That's one-on-one. He was out on an island right there. A guy hit him with an up and under in there, and he still caught up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I don't think so. Jeez. Congrats, Manny. Congrats, Oregon.
Yeah.
And sorry to whoever Georgetown Prep's got on schedule next year.
Yeah.
He said next 3 years. Maybe.
He knows.
I mean, maybe if they let that whole thing happen. All right, let's wrap up some news of the week. The Pirates are the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, they are.
Look out.
Okay, that's good news. Bad news of the week.
Yeah.
Red Panda did suffer a fractured wrist, severely fractured wrist, in the same wrist that she broke, I believe, 13 years ago or 12 years ago. So we got a message from her team, which we are very thankful for. We reached out yesterday morning just to try to get an update. Hey, because we are very lucky that we've gotten a chance to interact with Red Panda.
Yeah.
And kind of see how she goes about doing her business, meet with her people, chit chat with her people. And we just sent an email and we didn't know if they would respond or not. They sent this message back that was basically thanking everybody for all their well wishes. And also shout out to the Minnesota Lynx, Greta and Sheridan. They were at the hospital for 11 hours with Red Panda. And then the mascot, I believe, drove Red Panda to both the hospital and to the airport in the morning whenever she was heading home. So it's like the Minnesota Lynx took care of our, our national, international treasure in Red Panda. So shout out to Minnesota Lynx for that. And also shout out to Red Panda because I believe there was another update that she's going back home to get a second repair. And then it'll be a few months and then she will be back.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so I believe that was reported. So congratulations. Red Panda, it's good news. We are happy to hear that you will be back. And once again, I do hope you are feeling the love from everybody in the sports world. Red Panda's not ever looking, I assume, for people to say thank you to her. She's just locked in on doing her job and trying to make everybody have a better night whenever she's working and doing her thing. I think this is probably a good moment for Red Panda to look around and let yourself know, Red Panda, that everybody that has ever seen you do your thing is like, Red Panda, we love you. So I don't know how often people get a chance to hear the people's appreciation for what they do, but it's like, Red Panda, I hope you got an opportunity to hear all these. It sounds like from your message you have heard all the love, but it's like you've earned it with an outstanding skill that is still unbelievable that it takes place. And the reason why she fell, faulty pedal.
So yeah, we knew it wasn't her.
Due to transit. I don't with how impossible it seemingly is, it's a balancing act on one wheel. Okay, there's no brakes, there's nothing. So it's always on a hard surface. So I guess that could be good, but it'll also be very slick at some points. The fact that she doesn't fall, I think, is the part of the whole thing. Let alone the kicking of the bowls onto the head. So we've always believed that, she could fall off at any moment. So I think when she falls, finally, seemingly, and I don't want to say that in a negative way, but it's like whenever she proves that she's a human, I think there is a thought of like, the unicycle beat her. And then as soon as I read in her message that no, it was a faulty pedal, I was like, of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it was a faulty pedal. Of course Red Panda's never going to fall. This is what she does. That is why she is so death-defying, fracture-defying every single time she gets up on that unicycle. So shout out to Red Panda, man.
Tell you what, when she makes her her return on Christmas Day for NBA season and hits a 10-0, it is going to hit like crack, man.
Yeah, Christmas Eve is what the NBA should do next season.
They should, but
I don't want to.
They are.
They will.
Maybe
they
she
are
does that.
Unfortunately, still.
She may do it at halftime of a football game. She's never been on grass before, but maybe she.
They could build a little stage.
Yeah,
easy.
You're right.
Yeah.
Easy. Look what they do.
Do it, Netflix.
Especially the Netflix game.
Yeah.
Saw what they had for Dolly.
Yep. You're right.
Didn't Dolly have the?
Yeah, she had like
star, full star.
Yep.
You could certainly build a stage for Red Panda to hit. Oh yeah, football.
Why don't she do it on the grass? Get a little dirt tire.
I think she could.
I mean, if she puts on her other tire, maybe.
I didn't even think about putting the mud tires on.
Put a mountain bike tire.
Yeah, fat mountain bike tires.
Yeah.
Oh, she could like pedal and like catch like a deep post or something.
With her.
Yeah.
With her head.
Yeah.
In the top of in the top bowl.
Like I saw a kid. A lot of these videos coming out. A lot of the high school bros and college bros that are on water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lake. Jet ski football throw.
Yep.
I saw.
Oh yeah.
A kid yesterday. I think it's a college football quarterback. Dropped one full speed jet ski wide open. Didn't let off the thing right in the bucket. I'm like, that's a great throw. If we could get that kid to throw a football to Red Panda, going, she's at the 25.
Yep.
And she's go route basically into
like a
net.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like an umbrella hat, but flipped up on her head. Now we got football stadiums that we can have halftime shows for Red Panda. Just
Something
things to think about. Red Panda, you have to be one of the only things that is universally loved at this stage of life, and you've earned it all. Let's get you into football stadiums.
Hell yeah.
She's been working with the NBA since 1993.
It's a long time.
That's
1993. Committed to the game. Absolutely unbelievable. And good person, too. Nobody's against Red Panda ever. Okay, down at LSU, they're selling jersey patch advertisements pending NCAA approval. Now, obviously, there's this new commission that has to approve everything, I do believe. These patches for LSU. I think, obviously, this is inevitable. I assume, I don't think football will ever get to the point of like soccer where soccer's jerseys just become the company, basically, is the big thing. And then the team brooch.
Crest.
They're the patch, yeah.
Team crest patch is just kind of small there. But the patch on the practice jerseys, the patch on the actual jerseys, it's only a matter of time before they NASCAR that. And LSU obviously is the first. As soon as LSU gets this done, I assume every other school will do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I assume there are some people who are mad about it.
Maybe Notre Dame won't.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think you're right.
Maybe the Buckeyes won't.
I think you're right. Penn State probably won't.
Yeah, like
Michigan.
The super traditional.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will let it because they got a lot of money too. This is probably for some sort of, not that LSU doesn't have enough money. They fill that place up and everything like that. But like, I'd assume this money will go towards something. Is it a revenue?
You would assume.
Yeah, like the NIL, the salary cap or whatever. And you've talked about the Big Ten money versus the SEC money in some instances. Like this might, the schools that we just listed, at least Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, like a lot. I mean, Notre Dame's kind of the separator, but a lot of Big Ten schools versus the SEC, which has all that tradition and everything. But they might actually need to do that.
Isn't it crazy to think that everybody from the North has said that everybody in the SEC has been paying players? Right? That is just kind of how it's gone. Everybody in the SEC has probably been saying the other SEC schools have been paying players. The reason why that is because SEC has been so dominant. So they got to be cheating. That's how everybody thinks about everything.
Yeah.
If these people are winning more than everybody else, they got to be cheating. They got to be paying. We saw Saban's reaction whenever he was accused of it.
Yep.
He was not. That shit, I think, still pisses him off.
Oh, yeah.
The Alabama Jones conversation. I still think he is like, now you're like questioning my integrity basically as a competitor against everybody else.
Yeah.
And So I think a lot of people say, hey, Coach Saban, you were definitely doing that. I think just like in conversation around sporting worlds. And I think Coach Saban does not I think Shane was the person that learned that in a public situation.
pretty quickly.
But I don't think I think maybe that conversation is a little bit bigger because we hear the stories like McDonald's bags were being delivered with extra cheese, extra cheddar in this thing from maybe an SEC school. And then obviously there's conversations about number 1 overall picks and Heisman winners' dads allegedly negotiating deals behind the scenes and things like that. That's gotten out publicly. So I think whenever you hear those stories that justify the concern of it potentially taking place, it empowers people to have the convo and assume that it was happening everywhere. Now, I was not there. I do not know how any of it works. I just know that Coach Saban gets very fucking pissed whenever people just say that he paid and did things that nobody else was doing. But with that being said, now the North in the paying of players is seemingly at an advantage. If you ask everybody, not everybody, most people from the SEC and most people from the Big Ten, they're like, we got a lot of donors in this thing because we can take $100,000 from each person. And once we start accruing all of our people and they feel like they're a part of it, let alone the $5 million, $10 million donations. But we got them, Penn State. I bring them up all the time because I don't think anybody's talking about them yet, but we will in 2 to 3 years when every sport they are in the Final Four for. That's their goal, and they have enough money to do it. They have the most CEOs out of any school in America. CEOs get paid a shit ton of money. People get very pissed off about how much money CEOs make. CEOs are also very proud, I think, of where they come from. The Penn State alumnus are a very proud bunch. They are very culty, just like other schools that are very in. So it's like they've been able to rally hundreds of donors as opposed to some schools that have like 2 or 3. It's like they're not the only ones too. Michigan just recruited another billionaire to get into their thing, let alone all the money that they have in there. They have hundreds of donors as opposed to some of the other places. That's a real advantage. Let alone Oregon. I mean, we just talked about Oregon.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil up there is very prevalent in the sport. This is literally his brand. He would certainly want them. He's fully committed. It's like there's advantages in places, and then some schools are trying to figure out how they can catch up, and some big names, I think, too.
And we're not blanket statement saying, hey, the whole Big Ten has more money than the SEC, because
and we're not saying LSU doesn't have money, by the way. We're just talking about an overall.
But there's levels to it, like Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon. I think those schools, as far as donors and boosters are concerned, have more money than the majority of the SEC schools, except for Texas. And then you have levels like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia, stuff like that, who definitely have more money than that second tier of Big Ten schools. But like those lower, those teams that were always like giving the McDonald's bags away and stuff like that. I believe that was Tennessee. Those were teams that were always trying to catch those top tier teams. So I don't think Saban, to like the point we were talking about, Saban didn't have to. Like he was just putting guys in.
And that's why he was so mad, because like his entire thing was guys are coming here to compete against the best and make it to the NFL. And I'm trying to develop the human into a man. I'm trying to develop the player into an all-pro. Like that was like Saban's entire thing. So I think whenever people say that he was doing this, he gets pissed off about it. He's like, no, That was happening, but you're wrong fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the team's trying to catch those teams.
Yeah, now it's like I'll be intrigued to see how it all works out because it's not just football. This is all sports that this thing will take place. Last thing, go ahead, comment.
Well, and just like as far as the NIL goes, like you see Ohio State and they took Caleb Downs from Alabama, but they were still able to retain, like a Ryan Williams. Like some places can have that one 5-star multi-million-dollar player, and then some can have multiple.
I think we need to start bringing up Texas A&M a little bit more from what I'm seeing from this Google search here. And I've been down in Texas A&M. They got some old money down there.
Yeah.
They got farmers down there. That place is awesome.
I should have mentioned A&M.
Texas A&M, by the way, they are all in with the cause. I mean, they are down for the Aggies down there. We're talking midnight practice the night before to rehearse the chants so we're all on the same page. I loved going down to that school, especially that flag.
Yeah, huge.
Dude, they had no problem with an $80 million buyout.
See ya. All right, we're done with you, bud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up this first hour, it is time to bring back a segment that we debuted last week. It was something that we had been looking for all along, and maybe we had found it. How do we spotlight things that happened throughout the last week in the sports world or in the world that maybe don't get a chance to be brought up in conversation casually? Well, we need a segment at the end of the week that kind of wraps it all up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hey, That's Good Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you talk about good shit happening, especially in the sports world, you have to think about places that we would never imagine enjoying sport. Let's head to Jebediah in the squad out there, the Amish folks. This video hit the internet. Now, who's recording? Who's powering that light? Who cares? The Amish, maybe in a Rumspringer, playing a little pickleball, bringing the world together, having a good time, sweating, competing. I love to see it. Hey, Amish folks, that's good shit.
Let's go out to Malibu, where Aaron Rodgers is bringing out all the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers, and that's Ben Skoranek with the alley-oop dunk. Maybe the Steelers are the team this year with a couple exciting whites who are going to go to the Super Bowl. And that's good shit.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Yeah, they're screaming for a different reason on Saturday night in Saudi, boys. The WWE Night of Champions. Charles Robinson, legend, debuted in 97, coming down. Piece of shit, John Cena puts him on his ass, but Charles Robinson ain't no bitch, Cena. He pops up, eats that bump. And that's why Charles Robinson is the GOAT. And that's good shit.
Yes, it is. Go ahead, Ty.
Let's go to Somerset, Kentucky for the Summer Nights Cruise Classic Car Show. Wait a minute. Is that the General Lee jumping over a fountain? It sure is. Look at that. You can go ahead and ignore the flag on top of the car there. That's nothing to, talk about. You got the cameraman getting out of the way of a near-death experience with Bo Duke coming down and running into the guardrail here. And you're thinking, well, that's not good shit, but look at this guy. Look at this guy making sure that his driver is A-OK.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good, Bo Duke.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. We're good.
We're good. And you can see Daisy Duke in the bottom down here. She's looking down, saying, thank God Bo Duke is okay.
Hey.
That's some good shit.
It certainly is, and that is generally that is exactly to proportion.
Yes, it is. Yep, exact model.
Yeah, and that thing, maybe a ramp, they said, nope, send it.
Yeah, send it over the fountain, just like Bo Duke would.
Lost a door, probably suspension. I couldn't imagine what happened to the engine, probably the frame. I mean, a lot of things happened for that moment. Hey, we appreciate that, especially in a public setting like that.
Awesome.
The city had to sign off. You want to send General Lee through a goddamn fountain in the middle of downtown?
Yeah.
Send it.
We do.
We're going to do it during the cruise, and they're not just going to cruise. Guess what? They're going to fly. Hey.
That's good shit.
All right.
Let's head across the pond to Englandtown. This is the final round of qualifying for the 153rd Open, and this is Richard Tedder chipping in for eagle.
Wow.
That is the 39th hole of his day. That is a 4-man playoff to qualify for the 153rd Open. It's going to be in Rory's hometown. Tedder is the first Estonian all-time to qualify for the Open.
Estonia. Founder of Skype is from there, I do believe.
Really?
Incredible.
I also learned from somebody who considers himself Croatian, Estonia is a big sauna community.
Okay.
Community. I do believe, right, Bruce Brown?
Yeah, those are both fun facts about Estonia.
And now they have an open competitor in Mr. Tedder. Hey,
That's good shit.
That is good shit.
America's Estonia, Florida, some people would say. Geno Smith was down there coaching the South Florida Express versus Raw Miami. They won 38-21, and Geno let him know, hey, bitch, this is why I got $66 million guaranteed in an extension this year. I get paid the big bucks. Okay? That's why they pay me the big bucks, because we scored 38 points and you guys couldn't even score 4 touchdowns, bitch. He's basically breaking chains all over in Miami, in Florida. And Geno Smith, that's good shit, brother.
It certainly is. How about a Monk? Is there a Monk doing something?
Well, funny enough, yeah, we saw Wemby giving Monk some buckets, and now where do we see him? He's on the pitch taking a free kick from what looks like about 60 yards out, right off the right boot, an absolute firecracker. Wemby goes crazy. Everyone, I mean, crazy that you can't even see him here because he's got those 8-foot legs that he's swinging. But I'll tell you what, he's going to give buckets to Monks on a Monday.
What?
And he's going to have an absolute firecracker free kick goal of the year on a Tuesday. Wemby, keep doing you, bro. That's some good shit.
That is some good shit.
Great shit. Patrick Maroon.
Think about how far away that soccer ball is from his eyes.
Yeah.
So far.
So far. That thing is a different area code. He has the control. He's French. Oui, bonjour.
Right.
Probably grew up playing. The control to bend that thing, bar down.
Bar down, upper 90.
That is good shit, Wemby.
It's like Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a French footballer.
Boom.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry
Zizou.
Pogba.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah.
Perhaps. Look,
a lot of great players over there. Bonjour, ça va?
Yeah.
Je m'appelle Zizou, says Wemby.
Frank Ribery.
Oh, one of the GOATs, another one of the GOATs, the big rig, Patty Maroon. He's playing in the TOHR Nationals, and he's not just playing alone. He's not the only Maroon on that roller rink. That is his boy, his sweet boy, Anthony Tony Maroon, scoring his first ever professional roller hockey goal for the Roadrunners. And yeah, they kicked ass. They ended up winning this game 8-0, I believe. Big Rig sending it over to his young boy for the Geno. It was incredible. That's also in St. Louis, gentlemen, in their hometown, and that's good shit.
That certainly is good shit. Is that even legal? Pat Maroon playing for that team?
No, absolutely not.
Think about that's like an NBA guy going to like LA Fitness. Now, I love ball hockey. Now, I don't think I've ever been to a roller ball hockey game. Looks electrifying. Looks like a great league, by the way. I love that we have the footage of it. Looks like it was great skill. I watched more than just the highlight. A lot of dangles in there. Maybe guys that can't skate as good, whatever the case, didn't make it or never skated, whatever it is. Patty Maroon in there. I couldn't imagine how good he has to feel.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously with his boy, I think his boy's going to college or maybe he got drafted somewhere.
Tony had 3 goals in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's a player.
He's a good player.
I met them when they were at a WWE event down there in Tampa. He's big boy.
Oh.
He's a big boy. Did you see the uniforms they were wearing there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
What is Memphis Grizzlies uniforms? Or?
I'm not 100% sure. Okay, let's move to last night. United States of America taking on Guatemala in the semifinals of the Gold Cup. Diego Luna with the crisp finish after the beautiful touch. Have one, Diego! Woo. Cooking Guatemala. That's 1-0 in the Gold Cup semifinal. Let's go ahead and try to put him away just a few moments later. Diego Luna gets it from 25 yards out. Step over. Cross. Bomb! Have one, Diego. Puts him on skates. Have one! He does. Go time, all the time. Diego Luna, who gets that? What's that from? What's that from? What's that from? What's that from? Well, you go right to this guy. That's good shit. We'll see you next hour. Goodbye. Thank you, Diego.
Football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shit for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster. Jeremiah Smith. First touch is a touchdown. Time. Shot that middle and Puka. Ooh, touchdown.
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot. And what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff. Run to the left. Jordan James. Ram. Will Howard. Time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown. Ohio State is kicking the living shite out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown! They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Now there's a low snap. Goes left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field, so that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Step it. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. No. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this. For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this American Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, hour 2 of the program begins now.
America!
Hell yeah, America. Happy birthday to America. We'll be celebrating that tomorrow. We're off next week because Wimbledon will be taking over everything as it gets into its most competitive stages. Wimbledon's been okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wimbledon's been, I don't think I've ever watched the early rounds of the entire thing. I don't think I've ever done it.
Never. I know I have never.
That's Talks to Tables at Boston Connor, who looks very cool today.
You too.
Looking that cool while watching tennis. Are we evolving?
I don't know. Is this what it's like to kind of to be with the paupers, if you will?
Yeah, the paupers are the opposite.
I knew it. I knew it. When I was thinking about saying it, I waited a second, and I said, just go for it. And I knew it was wrong.
Yeah, pauper, I believe, is short for poor person.
Oh.
Pauper, I believe, is the word. So it'd be the complete opposite if you're going.
And your outfit's worth like what, $2 million? I think you paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, what's a thing like money to a guy like?
How hilarious is that though? That word pauper. I was called that one time.
Like
it was
who?
Awesome. Yeah, I had no idea what it was. Dap the person up.
In Europe or
America? America. Dap person up. Leave, and I'm like, I heard what that. Nobody's ever called. I thought maybe he thought my name was Pauper or something like that. Looked it up. And it was like,
Oh, this asshole throws shade.
He was just going, that was all, yeah. So it would be the complete opposite of Wimbledon. But watching these games, it's been nice to watch competition.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Nigel Seeley yesterday from Game Bet Matches Betting Weekly. He basically told us the women's side wide open. Like if there's any women's Wimbledon games on, just if you like competition, there's nothing else on. I'm not telling you to watch tennis or go out of your way to do this. But like if you find yourself, know that the women's matches have been a lot of surprises, action, energy, and America's got a chance. America has been running the women's side. I didn't know that since like Serena, Venus, obviously, whenever they exit the sport and everything like that. But I guess America's got like 3-4 girls that are dominant over there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and win that now. Let's go ahead and do that. Mass Keys, Amanda, Anna Sonova. Yeah, can't wait to watch her. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tony's here. Wimbledon will carry us over the next week or so. And when it comes to sports, baseball will as well.
Yep.
The W will do its thing. Savannah Bananas got any games?
Yeah, they're actually playing this weekend. They sold out Fenway. They got a match against the Firefighters.
Yeah, they created 2 new teams for the Savannah Bananas to play against, right?
Yes.
And now they're just selling. They sold out the 2 new teams, the Firefighters, and there was another team.
Yeah.
They sold out, I think, 3 stadiums within 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess getting the tickets, because there's going to be one in Pittsburgh. We saw Kaboli, saw a couple other people.
Back nights.
Yeah, but getting to the tickets, you got to win like a lottery to get into a room.
Crazy.
To then get into to get to what? Yeah, it is like, it's impossible to get these Savannah Banana tickets. So I'd like to once again say, congrats to Savannah Bananas.
Hell yeah.
It's not easy to do in 2025, create something, especially in the sports world, that ends up captivating everybody. And if you're selling out stadiums with things people have never heard of, hey, the Firefighter's going to make a debut.
Yeah.
It's like you have no idea what it is. You just know that it's in that vein of entertainment. And I think we know that Savannah Bananas are going to deliver. Do they have enough? I guess we'll find out. Are the same players wearing different uniforms?
I don't know. I would guess at this point that they have. I think once guys maybe who weren't playing anymore but are still good baseball players and maybe played in like different semi-pro leagues, once they saw this thing really take off, like that's something you could practice. Like, okay, if I could come up with like some sort of gimmick while I'm fielding or like while I'm batting or something, like for a lot of these guys, I don't want to say they're one-trick ponies because that's not the case, but like
they have the bat trick guy.
They have the thing they're known for, exactly.
The dancing ump, he's dancing.
Right, exactly. The ninja ump at first base who's, rolling and calling outs and stuff like that.
The bat guy?
Yep. The bat trick guy.
The bat wizard guy?
Yeah.
What they do with these bats, just dribble. He's just dribbling a bat like it's a basketball.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So, like, I would assume that once guys maybe saw how popular this was getting, and it's like, oh, okay, this isn't just like these guys. Yeah, these guys are selling out Major League Baseball stadiums 3 nights in a row. So, like, I would guess that a lot of them are, and then I don't know what, like, their tryout deal is like, but I would assume that they were probably getting enough people where it's like, okay, we can add a couple more teams to this.
All new players, Zito just told me for the Chicago Firefighters.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a Chicago team, so Zito bought a jersey immediately.
Right. Hell yeah.
How do they do the swing?
The no-handed
flip.
swing deal?
Yeah.
Wow, they're swing. I don't understand.
You can do it. You just got to commit. Go ahead.
That one's so good.
No, I have done this before, and I've hit the bat with it's been not a fun.
A lot of wrist action.
See, but it looks like they're defying physics.
Just like Travis Pastrana told you last week, you just got to commit.
Yeah, but to a car, I think I would do that. Or a motorcycle into a foam pit, I would do that. This one's like the worst type of punishment, like getting your knuckles just.
Yeah. Hunter said he could do it, right?
Your face. I've done it once.
You've done the bat thing?
No.
But dressed like that,
like that. I know I've done it once. Yeah.
So you say with the way you look right now, you know that you've definitely done the bat flip thing just because how cool it is?
Exactly.
And how cool you look.
Yes, but
what are some other things that you know you've definitely done?
Just simple 900 in the half pipe.
Sure.
Let me think. I mean, basically anything that is interesting. I believe I've had a perfect bowling game, 300. Pete Weber, actually, I'm the only one to beat him.
Heads up.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Didn't you 180?
Yeah, I've had 180 in darts, of course. Royal flush. I mean, there's just so many different types of things that I've done. Dressed like this, of course. I've been on America's Got Talent. I
heard you judged America's Got Talent.
Yeah, judged America's Got Talent, and as a judge, was given the golden buzzer for myself to go through to Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how good they liked me there. And look, I told them I can't have this.
I already got a job.
I'm gonna have to turn this one down. I'm sorry. It's a great opportunity.
That's very cool of you to give your spot to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire made it all the way to the $1 million. Said, "Shut up, Regis. I'm actually not going to answer the last question. I'm leaving."
When that happened?
It was a while ago.
Last year?
No. Regis was dead. Rest in peace. Yeah, actually, I was there for him. I was a pallbearer in his wedding in his jacket. But there's a few. There's been a lot of things that you guys don't know about me when I'm looking like this that I have in fact done. I mean, I'm just glad we're not talking to Joey Chestnuts today because I've actually beaten him in a hot dog eating contest. What do you think he was doing last
you do look like you could gobble some dogs.
Look, last July 4th.
This guy's gobbling glizzies.
Last July 4th.
I don't like that happened. When did that happen? The glizzy. Was that you?
New school dudes.
Glizzy wasn't me. I've
sucks.
asked.
I don't like the. I just don't like saying it.
It sounds.
I've asked that question. Like, when did it?
Like something different?
It sounds dirty.
Yeah, it sounds like something different. But
it's from the DMV. I think Wale made it up.
No, he made a.
Put your left hand up.
Who are we?
The Glizzies.
No, he did not do that, or the Commander song, which is what that actually is. Wale is back in the lab, though, I do believe, from what I've seen from this. We should all be very excited about Wale being back in the lab. Penn, just outrageous. And I think he has something coming up. But I'm not a Glizzy. I understand, like, different places have their own dialect shit. We're from Pittsburgh, so we understand that. The Glizzy thing, that got more popular than I assumed it would. When I first heard it, I was like, you're talking about hot dogs. Yes, that's what we call hot dogs, glizzies. I'm like, nobody will say that. And it did.
Yeah.
It became like...
You notice who's saying it, though. People who grew up calling them hot dogs or ballpark franks. They're not fucking calling them glizzies.
Yeah, you're right. It is a different generation.
Exactly. Younger.
But nonetheless, Joey Chestnut is going to do something to those glizzies tomorrow that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Remember last year he was out because he...
I hope so.
Yeah. He is a Hoosier. He lives here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, there's an Italian competitor. He's an Italian-American. He flies under the American flag.
Caboli's going this year?
I don't think Caboli's Italian.
I will remember his name, but I just look out, Joey.
Are you serious?
What is the Italian's name?
Let me look it up.
Do you want us to try to guess on this?
No, I don't.
Pizzerini Raviolio.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, he is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and I believe, if my intel is correct, we do have some more breaking news. He is competing in the hot dog eating contest tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Got to catch a flight tonight, get down there and try to challenge old Joey Chestnut. See how we do.
It's not just Joey Chestnut that you're competing against tomorrow. Obviously, you got to take on the great Italian named...
Patrick Bertoletti.
Patrick Bertoletti? Bertoletti. Oh, I know Bertoletti's from Chicago.
Yeah, 58 dogs is his most.
I know Bertoletti. Yeah, he's from Chicago. Exactly. Yeah.
58?
Too much. I've watched too much of this to know exactly where this guy is from.
Deep dish.
Just with like that. Yeah, he's a weapon. Bertoletti is certainly a
Watch out, Joey.
No, I think even Bertoletti would say...
It's time for a new king.
How many did Joey have last time he competed? How many did he eat? Do we know?
So last year he took on old buddy on Netflix, remember?
Yeah,
Kobayashi to relive the rivalry. I think Netflix wanted to get in the game. It was done with different dogs, I think. It was a vegan operation, vegan dogs. And in doing that, Joey Chestnut got kicked out of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest 4th of July. That was big drama. If I do recall.
Oh, yeah.
That was big drama. Joey Chestnut was never happy. Joey Chestnut has come out and said, like I said then, I'm saying now, I do have other food partnerships, but I never had a hot dog partnership with anybody other than Nathan. So I think there was a little bit of either a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, or a we don't care what it is, you're not eating our hot dogs on a very large platform business relationship. Because for those professional eaters, that is a huge partnership there for Jaws, 4th of July. He's representing all of America. He's putting on for America. They were actually going to cancel it, and he said, why go to America?
Yeah.
That's literally what he said.
Yep.
And then he marched his ass right back down Coney Island, and he went up there and broke his own record. He's planning on doing it again. While watching AJ, I do get a little sick to my stomach. It is a bit disgusting.
Yeah, it's the dunking, the dunking of the buns. That's just, how does that not just compact? Like, how did you even get that down?
There are professionals in this whole thing. You know, they practice, they do this. Joey Jaws has the shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's record. He's got some chicken wing record, I believe. I think he's got a coleslaw record somewhere.
He's got a pierogies record.
A pierogies, a popcorn, a chicken nugget record, I believe he has. So, like, they have these contests. I watched a documentary on it. It is wild. And they practice, and they're able to get that thing bigger, I think. And obviously, you're not allowed to, I don't think you're allowed to puke. I think there's a certain amount of time you're not allowed to get it out of your body. He's a talent.
Yeah.
Joey has a talent. It is better than anybody that's ever existed, maybe. Somebody might have had a better talent than him at this particular thing, but never tried it, you know. But Joey Jaws tried it, found it, and he's the guy. He's not the liquid guy, though, because that would be...
Yeah, that's Eric Badlands Booker. So, like, I understand that, you know, Tony's trying to say, like, deep dish is coming. If Badlands one of these years just decided, like, hey, I'm not going to drink 2 liters of Country Time pink lemonade before I go up to the stage and eat the hot dogs, I'm pretty sure Badlands could eat 150 hot dogs.
Yeah, because have we ever seen Badlands at empty stomach?
I don't think so. No.
Because the build up to the main
He's
event.
self-handicapping. He's handicapping himself because he doesn't want to blow Joey Chestnut out of the water. Is that what he's doing?
Potentially. I mean, there's a chance. We've never really seen Badlands at his absolute best because Badlands is a draw. Okay, people want to come watch when he's chugging drinks.
Yeah.
He'll take down that lemonade.
Yeah, 2 sips.
Insane.
That thing disappears, and it's like Badlands has done it again.
Yep.
He's on record. And then it is a couple hours later, all right, now we need you to eat all these hot dogs. And it's like Badlands has got to deal with record-breaking liquids in his stomach.
And he tries. He'll still put down 40 to 45 dogs, but, like, Badlands is a big guy.
38 is his career high.
38.
He has no chance.
No, but that's because he's got all the lemonade.
Does anybody know who won last year?
Didn't watch it. To be clear, I didn't watch it.
86% of the money is on the under 71.5 hot dogs.
Oh, that's
They think that Joey Jaws Chestnut's
You
going to
don't
get...
think Joey's doing it?
He only did 62 last time. Bertoletti's hot on his heels.
Only 62 last time is before this whole getting kicked out of the damn tour,
He
Doug.
didn't get kicked out. He kicked himself off the tour for going vegan.
No, he did not go vegan. He went to a vegan contest.
He could eat in the CCP contest if he wants.
Whoa,
What are you talking about?
Whoa.
He was representing the United States of America.
He was for a while until he turned his back.
No, he represented for us on an international platform on Netflix. There ain't nothing wrong with what Joey Jaws Chestnut did. No, I didn't watch him on Netflix.
No.
Yeah, did he win that one? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Okay.
He did.
He won. He got a belt and a trophy.
We should have supported him because he is a local guy now, but he does pay his respects to Badlands, though.
Yeah.
Because when I asked him about, he just so happened to be in town. So he was in town coming to our New Year's Eve show. I found out he was coming to the New Year's Eve show. And I was like, Bud, do you want to like be a part of the show or doing like a variety type thing? And he goes, absolutely. What's your idea? And this is like hours beforehand, I think, like maybe 3 hours before the show. I'm like, it'd be really cool New Year's Eve. You just chug a bunch of beers or drinks or something like that. And he goes, I'm not Badlands, but I could put down some.
Yeah.
And I was like, how many beers? Like 6 beers you want to do? 10 beers? Let's do 13 beers. I'm like, that seems like a pretty exact number.
Yeah.
And then he did it in what, 78 seconds or something?
Yeah.
80 seconds.
Yep.
13 beers. Pints of
Deleted.
beer. Just gone. And then he had to live with that for the rest of the night. And he did.
Yes, he did.
He did. He lived with that. I think he took a bottle of vodka too, maybe a little bit later, because that beer started talking to his brain, you know?
Yep.
13 beers is still a lot of.
Yeah. 13 beers in 75 seconds.
You get some courage pretty quick. You get some courage pretty quick, you know? And he was great time. Joey Jaws Chestnut was a great time.
Yeah, crowd surfing.
He was.
He was crowd surfing.
Oh, yeah, dude, he was awesome. And it's like the amount of USA chants for Joey, like he does. I'm happy he's back on 4th of July.
Yes.
I'm happy we get a chance to watch that. And I think this year I'm gonna try not to vomit, you know, because it does get a little disgusting.
Yeah.
The guys that stink are worse to watch because they got that
all over their face.
Yeah, it looks like
they're crying.
Joining us now is a man who will not be in the hot dog eating contest. I do not know if he calls it a dog or a glizzy. I would guess hot dog.
I hope so.
Let's go around the room.
He's a hot dog guy.
Yeah, I'm going to guess a dog.
Tone?
I think so.
Joining us now, senior MLB insider for ESPN, friend of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Passan.
Yeah.
Hot dog?
Who uses the word glizzy aside from complete turds? Like, if we're being honest.
Amen.
Okay. All right.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank you, Jet.
That is Jet Passon's take on it. To be clear, whenever we first heard it, Jet, we did not expect it to take off the way a lot of people say glizzy. You know that just naturally comes out of their mouth, glizzy, and they're talking about hot. I am just as surprised, I think, as you are at this thing, but we need to acknowledge that's reality.
You know who says that? Morons and children, and we shouldn't listen to either.
I mean,
Fair enough.
Okay,
Some good points.
that's the authority, Jet Passon. Okay, let's talk a little baseball here, and obviously much different than glizzies or hot dogs. You just broke some news, I believe, on your Twitter account. There is a gambling investigation now happening in the baseball world. Obviously, we just saw this with Malik Beasley. We've seen it before. Jonte Porter, Terry Rozier has been cleared, I believe, of his gambling investigation. But now that the leagues have kind of linked up with the government and also the sports books themselves, they've been able to track all activity is seemingly what we have learned about the process. It's happened in the NFL as well. What do we know at this moment about Luis Ortiz? Has this happened a lot in baseball, and is this the beginning of this type of trend to happen in the MLB?
Pat, a little more than a year ago, Tucupita Marcano, who was an infielder for the San Diego Padres, was banned for life for placing bets on nearly 400 Major League Baseball games. And look, in Major League Baseball, there is one rule, and that rule is very simple. Do not bet on baseball. And if you do bet on baseball, you face a lifetime ban. There were 4 other players during that time who were banned for a year because they were in the minor leagues when they bet on Major League games. But baseball is just the kind of sport that when you have the ability to gamble the way that you do these days is rife for potential corruption. I mean, you can bet on individual pitches, Pat, to be balls or strikes. And when that's the case, and there are hundreds of pitches being thrown every game, the ability for a pitcher or for a player to have one of those little minuscule events turn into a windfall of money potentially. That's why Major League Baseball and the other professional sports leagues have partnered as strongly as they have with gambling integrity organizations, because the sports just leave opportunity for corruption to happen. And look, if Luis Ortiz does wind up getting banned from Major League Baseball for gambling, if there are alerts that were sent out, or if there are specific pitches that are being looked at here, it's a problem for the sport. And listen, it's great when this sort of thing gets flagged, but it also makes you think, how many times does this happen where it doesn't get flagged as well? And what does that mean for the integrity of the game?
I don't want to just point out that the NBA has had this, because I think the NBA is a good league and they don't want any of this shit either. They've had a ref, they've had some players. It's not good. I mean, it's not good for any of the sports. We agree 100% with what you're saying, with what the leagues are saying. We cannot have anybody questioning the integrity of our league, or we turn into the Savannah Bananas. Okay, this can't, and not that that's a bad thing, but everybody needs to think what they're watching is legit. In the NBA, we watch the sport and we think to ourselves, oh, that is a gettable league. And then in baseball, as soon as I read about this pitcher, I'm thinking, my first reaction when I read your tweet was like, oh yeah. Because let alone balls and strikes. I mean, they can throw a ball on the 15th pitch of the night, I'm going to throw a ball or whatever. And then on the 20th night, pitch of the night, I'm going to throw a ball, because you kind of can. You can set that, you throw that way outside, and it's an easy write-off, like, oh, it stuck to his finger, or it's a bad throw. It's right. Like, I wonder how they investigate this. If they don't have it tracked, it's going to be tough to legitimize it from a pitcher from just watching film, do you think? Because can't anything happen? I mean, we see overthrows, we see in the dirt, we see that type of shit on a regular basis anyway. So would it be easy to figure out if somebody's throwing a game or a bet for somebody, or is it all going to be transactional records, you think?
Yeah, it feels like it would have to be tied, Pat, to just more than that. More than, let's say, if there's a large amount of money placed on a specific pitch, how do you tie that back to the pitcher himself? I don't know what the answer to that is at this point. But that even being a possibility,
that's so gettable.
Has to be alarming for Major League Baseball, knowing that there are hundreds of pitchers every year who are thrown in Major League Baseball games, and all of them, you have to track every single pitch, every single bet, line them up. I mean, it's a large undertaking and the sort of thing that Major League Baseball has to take seriously, because the more players who are tied to gambling, the more the question goes back to the league. Is this a clean league? Is this something that, as we're watching, we can take seriously and believe what's going on out there is actually happening without, an invisible hand?
Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Jet, just pivoting quick. Clayton Kershaw, 3,000 strikeouts. We saw that. We saw the celebration of his family. Is there any way you could compare that to, say, like something in football that a quarterback would, hey, this is like some kind of record? Like, how big of a deal is this for someone that doesn't know a ton about baseball?
I'm not going to say it's like 50,000 yards for a quarterback, AJ, but it's sort of along those lines. In Major League Baseball, the 3,000 hit club tends to be the one that we focus on. But there have been only 20 pitchers in Major League Baseball history who have reached 3,000 strikeouts. And when you look at that list, it is full of Hall of Famers. You need a combination of excellence and longevity to do it. And Clayton Kershaw continuing to pitch into his late 30s, continuing to produce. And look, he's not the guy who won multiple Cy Youngs earlier in his career. He's not the best pitcher in baseball like he was for, a half-decade-long period, but he's still a guy who's out there getting outs, getting strikeouts, and is going to be a no-doubt first-ballot Hall of Famer, as easy of a Hall of Famer as just about anyone in Major League Baseball right now.
Congrats to him, and also huge win for the Dodgers last night. Walk-off with Freddie Freeman. We got a chance to follow the Dodgers this year. We've enjoyed the hell out of watching them. Also getting into baseball. I'm enjoying, Jet. I told you we're doing the baseball. Mm-hmm. We've been doing the baseball. Don't you think we've been doing it more and more each year? Don't you think?
I adore the fact that you bring me on to talk about baseball and to ask questions from the perspective of someone who's trying to learn about it and who wants to educate an audience that might not be as baseball-centric, but gets to see the beauty of this sport. And it is a beautiful game. That's what I love about baseball more than anything. There's so many different elements to it and so many nuances and so many small things that someone who's a connoisseur of sports can really appreciate.
Nuance, yeah. And I like watching greats be great, and we're watching that this year. All the greats are seemingly performing at a very high level. A lot of big-time moments with the big-time players. And that's what makes big-time leagues, baby.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in the middle of it. We're very thankful. We will see you out at the Home Run Derby in Atlanta. We cannot wait for that, Jet. We're getting in there.
Yeah.
We're getting in there. We're doing it.
It's going to be the best. Look at the Pat McAfee Show coming in strong to baseball. Like, did you ever think that you were going to see that day? Like, you're going to be around Ohtani, you're going to be around Judge and Skeens and Acuna. You might meet the big dumper. Like, I feel like meeting the big dumper is an inevitability here.
Definitely.
And it's a good time. And I think baseball and the city of Atlanta in particular are going to really show out for you guys, because this is a big week for baseball. It's the week where, in the middle of a really long season, you get all of these great players together. And I believe Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, and really its All-Star Week, is the best in all of professional sports. I think it's better than what the NFL does, better than the NBA. Four nations this year, pretty good for the NHL. I'm not going to lie. That was a lot of fun. But just in terms of one-off All-Star games,
agreed.
Absolutely love what baseball does.
The Home Run Derby is, even growing up in a city that was very hard to be a baseball fan, shout out to Pittsburgh, which we're about to talk about here in a matter of moments. When I was growing up, bad baseball, Dad hated baseball. I mean, just like nothing. Home Run Derby was always something you look forward to, because that is like, if you're not a big-time baseball fan, I want to see dong shots.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see them hit the ball. I want big baseball hitter guy walking in to the batter's box and knocking this thing out of the stadium. That's what I want to see happen. McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, these types of guys. Everybody was captivated by baseball. The reason why is because balls were flying hard, and something that is so difficult to do was taking place right in front of all of us, and it was a spectacle, which it absolutely is.
Yes.
With how small the bat is, with how fast the ball is, the fact that a human can time it up and send it the opposite direction as far as getting home run derbies are and have been electrifying. So the fact that we're going to be there for one, I'm very excited to get, feet on grass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, feet on grass. Kind of see the balls flying out there. And
sound of the bat that close.
Boom!
Crack of the bat.
Yeah.
Oh, the crack of the bat.
Crack, yeah, of course.
Okay, let's move on and talk about some baseball topics that we're going to be paying attention to over the next week and a half or so before the All-Star game and before the Home Run Derby. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Jet, thank you for educating on baseball. Let me educate you on something. 6 wins, no losses, 43 runs, 4 runs, given up 31 scoreless innings. You know what that equals? That's salty ball, my brother, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates over their last 6 games. The greatest 6-game run any baseball team has ever had. Does this mean
that's not true?
Well, it is. It is. Does this mean that the Buccos may hold on to Mitch Keller? They may actually be buyers at the deadline. They bring up Bubba Chandler. They bring up Connor Griffin. What are the chances the Buccos don't just completely sell off the season after Don Kelly has revitalized everything?
None. I'm sorry to take a leak in your cornflakes here. They've been playing awesome lately. I give a ton of credit to Don Kelly. He has done a fantastic job of taking a clubhouse that looked like it was completely turned off and brought some life back to this season. And nobody's really ever questioned how good the Pirates pitching can be. Like, we've seen it with Skeens. We've seen it with Mitch Keller. Andrew Heaney's been really good this year. So, like, they have the guys to go out and pitch. It's always been just a matter of their offense. And the boys are scoring some runs lately. That's bound to happen. But, Connor Griffin's 19 years old, and he's an A-ball at this point. And as good as I think he's going to be, and Baseball America just rated him the number 2 prospect in all baseball yesterday. So the kid's got a chance to be an absolute star. He's probably another couple of years away. Bubba Chandler, I thought Bubba Chandler was going to be up a lot earlier than he has been. But once he comes up, it might just be as a replacement for Mitch Keller rather than a compliment to Mitch Keller. But listen, if the Pirates can turn Mitch Keller into some bats, into some productive big league hitters, that's how you build a winning team, guys, by addressing your weaknesses. And sometimes it takes strengths and taking away from your strengths to do it. It also should take free agent dollars, but these are the Pittsburgh Pirates, and, well, we know that's...
Well, I think Bob knew what type of wood they had in the clubhouse, if you've seen what they've been doing. And Mr. Cohen over there in New York, he's writing every check he can write. They stink. Yeah. Now let's talk about the other team.
Still better than the Pirates.
Who is it?
They just swept them by the greatest amount that's ever happened in baseball.
Yeah, if the season was 4 games long, and those 4 games happen to be the one that the Pirates had against the Mets, we're hanging pennants.
Yeah.
We're doing the pennants.
Yep.
We're doing the entire thing. Now let's talk about that other team in New York, shall we? Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Jet, shoot me straight here. What the hell is going on with the Yankees? I'm getting very close to giving them a 2-week ban and not watching them anymore. It's so hard. You know exactly what's going to happen damn near every single night they play. How important do you think the series is with the Mets, just for their juju going into the All-Star break? And also, what do they need to do at the deadline to kind of stop this thing from getting out of control, which it pretty much has been for the last month?
Yeah, Ty, I'm sure they're going to miss you if you put a 2-week ban in place. Anyway, all
right. Quit being an asshole.
You know what, Jet? That's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem. Is that you're right. They won't.
They won't care about Yankees fans.
They won't.
George Carey.
New York baseball, New York baseball, just generally speaking, sucks right now.
That's awful.
The Yankees are bad, the Mets are bad, and it also, guys, we have to understand that in this environment where there is so much parity in baseball, where there's no clear, obvious, great team, where they're just teams that are, at best very good. It's weird to hear this, but the baseball season is so long that you can have a really bad quarter of the season, and it's probably not going to torpedo your postseason chances. You can have a terrible 40-game stretch. You can go 15-25, or 14-26, or even 12-28 over a 40-game stretch, and still make the playoffs. I mean, let's look at where the Mets were. They were 45-21 at one point. They're now 49-38, and yet they are still in a playoff spot right now. The Yankees have blown their lead in the American League East to the point where the Blue Jays are now tied with them and the Rays are a half game behind. And they are still far clear, even if the Jays and the Rays pass them, of any of the other teams that are in the playoff hunt right now. So I get the panic. I get why Yankees fans are pissed off. I get why Mets fans are pissed off. I get why they're all looking at it and saying these teams need to get fixed right now or something's going to go really, really wrong. But I also think we need to acknowledge that this is probably the worst that both of these teams are going to play this year.
Maybe.
And they're still both in playoff positions at this point. So what do the Yankees need? They need an infielder who can hit. I don't know if that's a Eugenio Suarez or somebody else, but they need one more bat, and they need relief arms. Luke Weaver's been giving up home runs since he's come back. Devin Williams hasn't been the guy the Yankees thought that they were getting. Fernando Cruz is injured right now. Like, the Yankees need relief pitching. The Mets need just pitching, period, because when the Mets were in the position, guys, that they were at 45-21, it was on the strength of their pitching. And as good as Soto's been recently, and as good as Francisco Lindor has been over the last few years, he slumped recently, but Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso's been awesome this year. The Mets don't have that like 6 through 9 in their lineup who are going to complement those top 5 guys. And so they need a bat. Maybe it's a center fielder, maybe it's an infielder, whatever it is. The Mets need quite a bit of help right now.
In our world, if you pay the quarterback, it's hard to build up the rest of the team because you've taken up so much money. They paid Juan Soto $750 million. Are they going to be able to fill 6 through 9? Or do you kind of take a hit?
Pat, when Steve Cohen's your owner and it's an uncapped sport, you can do whatever you want. Now, are they going to be financially irresponsible as perhaps they were in past seasons? I mean, I think Steve Cohen's learned a lesson from that. And if you look at the way that he spends, the superstar players, he has no problem like giving large sums of money to. But it's those bottom, middle tier guys who he doesn't want to overpay for. And the Mets farm system, with Carson Bench, with Jet Williams, Jonah Tong, Nolan McClain, Brandon Sproat, like their farm system has gotten a whole lot better. Do they want to dip into that to improve a team that, maybe doesn't warrant that much improvement at the deadline? It's going to be really interesting to see just how aggressive the Yankees and the Mets are at the deadline this year, because the way that both of them have been playing recently does not seem to suggest that either is going to be a true World Series contender. And yet, when you look at the rest of the sport, guys, there aren't many other teams that are suggesting that either.
Jet, I love baseball more because you talk about it. Don't love that you acknowledge that quarters of seasons don't matter in the long run, because the Pirates had a bad first quarter.
Real bad.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Second quarter, they're hottest in baseball. They could go all the way to the top. Dodgers, I think, is why Connor said, you said there's no clear favorite this year, and Connor goes, oh, really?
Every year.
Dodgers are the clear favorite right now. Shohei starting to pitch. Life is good. We will see you down in Atlanta for the All-Star festivities. We appreciate the hell out of you, Jet.
Gentlemen, looking forward to it. Safe travels.
Hey, thanks for breaking the news, doing some journalism. Yeah. We appreciate that.
I'm going to go do some more right now. See you guys in Atlanta.
You go journalize, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Passage.
Hey, Jet.
Baseball's not terrible this year.
No.
It's been great this year.
I've enjoyed it.
Guys been hitting homers. We're seeing dong shots like over and over.
That's what we like. That's why the home run derby,
yeah.
Let's go do this. And we have no idea who's in the home run derby. I don't think anybody does. I think Cal said he would be in, right?
He's in for sure, and so is Ronald Acuna. Those are the two guys that have been announced.
Schwarber's got to do it. Schwarber's got to do it, right?
Schwarbombs would be great.
He would be awesome.
Especially with how he's hitting. It'd be great to see. This would be the dream lineup, though, right? For the home run derbies. These are the home run leaders. Here's the home run derby. But a lot of guys choose not to do it, right? Because it messes up your swing, potentially.
That's kind of the rumor. Also, just for a guy like Judge, that'd be doing the MLB a massive favor. It's like he plays every single day. He might not want to go out there. The home run derby, it used to be like that. When you were saying, when we had McGuire and Sosa and all those guys. I think in recent years, the like Shohei did it a couple years ago, but he's not going to do it again, obviously, because of like the injury concern. I think now it's kind of turned into a little bit more of like the younger guys who are, good power hitters and hit a lot of homers. It's a good showcase for some of those guys who, because like you said, like people who don't love baseball will watch the home run derby. And it's a good opportunity for like, oh, hey, I've never heard of this guy, but he's hitting absolute bombs tonight.
Just like the dunk contest. I think we need give us
need the stats.
Because I know Aaron doesn't want to do it, of course. The NBA guys don't want to do it either. Risk injury, more effort. The amount of hacks you have to take at the home run derby. I mean, it's not like feasible. But as just fan of home run derby, it's like, I want to see the guys.
Yeah, I mean, give $10 mil to the winner or something like that.
Yeah.
Really bring the stars out.
Yeah, they need to do that for the dunk contest for sure, and also maybe for the home run derby as we move forward. We also need to up the prize pool for whatever the fuck the Gold Cup money is.
Yep, yes, we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is maybe America's new favorite athlete. This dude plays for Real Salt Lake in the MLS. He's won the MLS Young Player of the Year, which is their Rookie of the Year. It's a stupid title for an award, but it is an incredible honor, especially when the whole entire country hasn't had an opportunity to really see you work for the national team. Because a lot of people watching the MLS, a lot of people have seen this guy with Real Salt Lake, a lot of people have seen his highlights, but if you don't play for the national team, all the casuals don't really get a chance to see you. Well, this year, we've had an opportunity to watch this guy play, and thank God he's representing the United States of America. Every time he scores a goal, he goes right to the crest of the United States of America. Last night, he scores 2 to send us to the finals of the Gold Cup against Guatemala. Ladies and gentlemen, your new favorite soccer player, Diego Luna.
Yeah.
How are you, brother?
That's good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Thank you so much for making time. I know you guys are in the middle of this tournament. Big one on Sunday against Mexico. We'll dive into that here in a matter of moments. Last night, though, absolutely filthy rebound and touch to the left boot to kind of put that thing away and start this entire game with your first goal. Nasty. And then your second goal, getting the ball at about 30 yards out, taking a guy on, dicing him completely, and then ripping one from the 18, putting us up 2-0. Inevitably, we'd win 2-1. How does it feel to get this moment, get this opportunity to rep the United States of America here at the Gold Cup? And we want to say thank you for doing as such.
Oh yeah, I think for me it's an honor and a privilege, right, to always wear the badge, and then to do something like that and send the U.S. to a final. I think it's exciting for me and exciting for the country and for the team to really be behind that and held off that 2-0 win and now going into a super exciting final against Mexico on Sunday.
Let's talk about Coach Poch. Obviously, there's been a lot talked about with some of the known players not playing. We're in a new era. We're very close to the World Cup. Feels like from outside looking in, I grew up playing soccer in the ODP process and all those things. I kind of understand it. A lot of guys that maybe hadn't gotten a lot of opportunities with the national team over the last few years, Coach Poch almost wanted those guys. He wanted to see a new pool, wanted to see new guys. Do you guys feel that? And Berhalter, after the game, said that your group is very, very close with everything you guys have been through this Gold Cup. Do you feel that as well with the team? And how do you feel about the guys that are getting an opportunity right now, including yourself?
Yeah, I think it's awesome to see, local guys and guys that are putting in the work that get, you can say that get, hidden behind the other guys that are playing in so-called bigger leagues and stuff like that are performing. And I think the U.S. has players that are playing all around the world that can perform. And I think with Poach coming in and giving the opportunity to guys, that haven't had the opportunity and letting them showcase themselves and their talents on a bigger platform is really giving everybody, the kind of wake-up call that we got players that are here to play and players that can put in the work. So I think that it helps build a better, team when you got a bunch of rivals within the team and a bunch of guys, fighting for a place on the spot.
Yeah, and I think they even mentioned about how some of the big names not being there has provided some of the young guys opportunity to take leadership roles or confidence or peacock a little bit. I think you're one of those dudes. You're getting the ball for 25 out. You step over on that guy. Bah, bah, bah. I mean, you cook that motherfucker, man. Yeah, absolutely. Clint Dempsey literally talked to us when we were at TST because he launched a podcast. And he said he wants to see Americans go at people more. We didn't really have any guys that go at anybody. We were a lot of swinging, passing, combination play. We didn't really have guys attacking people anymore. So watching you do that in the semifinal of the Gold Cup, America says thank you, brother. Now on that note, speaking of America saying thank you, AP Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Diego, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere that you had a choice to play for the U.S. or play for Mexico, I believe because your parents are Mexican. So how hard was that decision, and then how big will then this game be on Sunday against Mexico?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of quotes and statements out there about, the decision I made, but I'm very proud to be Mexican American, my family's heritage and stuff like that, my parents. But I think for me, I was born in the United States. I've played here all my life, and they've given me everything that I've had, and I've been able to perform in them. They've given me the opportunity to do what I do and have supported me. And I think, there's no better feeling than to give back to the country that has, supported me and allowed me to be where I'm at today. And then going out to Sunday, it's going to be an awesome game. There's going to be, definitely some emotions there of it's going to be cool to play against Mexico. My family's going to be there. But it doesn't take away that I'm going all in for USA, and I'm going to, give it my all to bring us the championship.
I want to let you know, every time you score, you do this thing. What you just said there, like, hey, we need that too. Like America needs that as well. I don't know if you feel it, but it is. We've been rallying around your squad. A bunch of unknowns, basically. I don't want to say new coach. A lot of people talking shit about you guys, even in the soccer community, talking shit about your team. And then you guys have just kind of shown up and played in an electrifying style. Now, with that being said, I like your moxie, brother. I like the way you operate out there. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Diego, you play in an electrifying way and celebrate in an electrifying way. We saw the celebration after your second goal, I believe, a little bit of this. We thought it was from the video of the small lad on the boat kind of leading the way. That's what we thought. That's awesome. For the goal celebrations, when do you realize, this is exactly what I need to repeat when you see a video? And do you have anything kind of specially planned for Sunday? Because this one, this is a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, bro.
You must have known, this
some
is going
aura farming right there, man.
All good. Aura farmed the shit out of it. You just scored 2 goals against Guatemala in the semifinals, brother.
Hey, I need some help for some celebrations. So if you guys got anything to throw out there, I'm ready.
Got good rhythm too. It looked like you had pretty good rhythm there. It feels like you can.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Ty has a question for you, Diego.
Diego, obviously it's a year plus out with the World Cup, but you've arguably been the star of the Gold Cup so far, especially for like Pat was mentioning, kind of casual U.S. soccer fans. It's like, okay, we got our guy. So with that being said, with how well you've played, how much momentum can you take from this tournament into the World Cup, even though it's obviously still another year away?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think starting now is what we need. This is the big year, and I think starting it off with a championship here on Sunday could really lead the momentum and the confidence of the guys going into this year. And then it takes every guy going back to their respectable club and performing there on a daily basis and doing exactly what they need to be ready for the next camp or the next opportunity given. And it's a journey, man. There's going to be a lot of challenges that people face through this next year, and just making sure that every step and every day we take is leading to this big goal of performing and making the roster in the World Cup.
I'm excited to watch Poch's dogs. I'm excited to watch you guys. I love his attitude mindset. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, man. I think with Poch coming in here, I think bringing in that new energy and that, I think you kind of that grit and that hard work and that mentality of doing that, but also having the technical and the tactical side of the game. I think it's bringing us to another level, and I think this year is going to be very exciting, and I think we're going to really showcase it on Sunday against a very difficult Mexico team. I think it's going to show the fight that we have, and then hopefully we have the players and the capability to do perform and create chances. So I think we're going to have a lot of flair with a lot of dog mentality going in on Sunday.
On that note, AJ has a question for you. That's great to hear, DA. Hey, that's great to hear. We like hearing it. Go ahead, sir. AJ.
Yeah, something that jumps off the screen watching you guys, that you guys, you don't back down from anybody. You seem to kind of set the tone, and you're not flopping around. You're representing America and what we feel like we want to see our guys do. Is that something you guys have to talk about as a team? Is just happen naturally? You have the right group together led by Poch, like you said? Because it is fun to watch you guys, it doesn't matter. You guys get knocked down, whatever, you're popping right back up. You're right back in their face. Is that something that just you gain momentum each and every game you go out there and win and do that?
For sure, but I think it's even, even in the friendlies before the Gold Cup, we didn't have the results. We were getting, we lost 4-0 to Switzerland coming into this Gold Cup, but it was about the mentality, man, turning our heads and understanding that it wasn't good enough and we got to fight and keep going and keep going. And look where we're at now, right? We're in the final of the Gold Cup against Mexico. And I think not letting things phase us, and no matter what opponent we're playing, we're going to go in with the same mentality and just kind of run, not stop for every ball, fight for every ball, every 50-50, throw our body on the line. And that's what it's all about. That's what's going to win us championships. And like I said, we have the quality of players to perform. So it's that mentality that's going to help us to the next level.
I think one of your guys in the back double-footed somebody or two-footed somebody early, and it's like, yeah, we like that. And then seeing you guys run, which you're talking about, it's an electrifying style. It is and to AJ's point, AJ is like the biggest football meathead guy out there, okay? Has hated soccer for most of his life, from Ohio. We took him to TST. It's 7-on-7. I don't know if you know the style or know of TST. Yeah. He loved it. It was electrifying. But I think the big thing that he hates and most Americans hate is the flopping. Like NBA started flopping, people stopped watching the NBA. It's like we don't want to see that. Soccer kind of created it. Now, I know in soccer, long games, rolling down and around on the ground gives the boys a chance to breathe too. Like there's a there's a lot that goes into it as well.
Yeah.
But like the non-flopping looking softness of your group, I think is a great thing for our country. You just need to know that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think we're not going to go down unless we're hurt, unless we can't walk, or unless we can't, I think that's the thing that we have here. And that's going to lead us, like I said, with that mentality is like guys are going to hit us, guys are going to push us down. And when they see us pop right back up, it gives them a sense of, oh shit, like this is real deal type of thing. And then it puts them on their toes. And like I said, with the quality, it really scares opponents.
You can't punk the United States of America.
No.
Because that's how we feel when we're watching. It's like, hey, you're representing us out there right now. We can't be getting punked.
Exactly.
We can't be getting punked by those teams. And we're thankful that you're out there getting the opportunity. Last question here from co-host of the CONCAFA podcast. Go ahead, Gumpy.
Yeah, Diego, you and Malik Tillman have been the stars of this tournament as we've watched you guys. You guys seem so connected, and every game it seems to be growing more and more. Can you just talk about your guys' connection on the pitch?
Yeah, I think you said it, that each game and each training we've been able to play together and combine and build that chemistry on and off the field has really allowed us to see each other and find each other's way of play and kind of combine and so I think it's awesome to play with Malik, amazing player, great dude, and then to now be on the field with him and combine and really understand our movements and stuff and see what we need for each other to score goals and to create chances, I think is the coolest thing. And now we have a new friend and somebody new that I enjoy playing with, and it's exciting that he has the same mentality as well. He's a dog, man, and he doesn't stop.
I love that. Have you guys played together in all the camps growing up, tournaments against each other, I assume, this whole group, or no?
No, this was our first time. Yeah, first time playing together. So having this chemistry and building it off basically a couple weeks is pretty cool to see, and hopefully more in the future.
All right, Diego, how's the body feel? Obviously, you've been running a lot.
Yeah, good. A lot of recovery. The staff here is amazing, and we got straight to recovery after the game, and I'm feeling good for Sunday, yeah.
Good luck Sunday. Everybody's saying you guys are the underdogs. Mexico can't lose to this American team. No way.
Hey, let them say what they want.
Boom.
That's our guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Diego Luna, we appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Diego.
He's the guy.
Things are looking up.
Liked all that.
He's the guy.
He's got the dyed hair, too, the neck tats. He's like cooking people out there. Dog. It's like, I think, and I've said this multiple times now, and the soccer community doesn't always love the way this show talks about soccer, but the soccer community, easy to fucking do this. And the reason why I know that is because I was in the soccer community pretty well, know the soccer community pretty good, grew up in it in a pretty big way. I'd say committed a lot of my life to it. There's a lot of good players, like a lot of good players. But obviously the way you find players from each state, each region, each tryout, each camp, how much does each thing cost? Who do you have to know potentially to know that this, like, there's so much into it. And obviously soccer, youth soccer is big. There's a lot of kids that play soccer in every town, every single state. So finding the right players to get to the national team has always been a controversy. Yeah, it always has been. Always will be, I assume. But always has been like, hey, there's some political shit to it. There's a lot of networking. You got to know the right people. You got to do this. But like, You watch at the highest level. There's good players, a lot of good players. And it's like maybe they just didn't fit in the right place, but they didn't get to know the right person, missed the right tryout. So then that changes the trajectory of their entire career or whatever. And it's like this Poach, I don't know what we're calling him. He called him Poach.
He said Poach.
Yeah, he said Poach. So I don't want to disrespect the new coach. It feels like he has opened the gates a little bit more to like, we got to have, I don't care if they're the
feels like the right hire. He feels like the right guy for the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And gritty is what he wants. Yeah. And like, hey, we're fucking running here. It's like Rick Carlisle.
Bouncing up.
Like we are, and we're in their face afterwards. Is like, that's what America's needed. Now, if they would have hired him 2 years ago.
Right.
That would give like a full World Cup cycle get his.
Tough timing.
Yeah, like a year and a half before the World Cup, a couple months before the World Cup. That's a tough job for him. But if he would have been able to get like a full 4-year cycle, building the program, the development, and everything, that's what he's going to do. And allegedly, he had been asked a couple other jobs, like interviews, and basically would end up leaving Team USA. And he was like, nope, I got no interest. I'm doing this. It's like, I feel like he understands that if he is the coach that takes the United States of America to big places, that's really good for our country. It's good for soccer as well. And he's the right guy for it.
I also appreciate, like them, what was it last night after, like talking about the media. It's like, I'm glad that they're hearing that. Because like we did. It's like after they got beat by Switzerland, and for someone like, Connor and like we were like, hey, fuck these guys. Like they suck. I'm out on this team. Like I'm not going to spend.
There's a lot of drama.
Exactly. There's just so much more bullshit. And then you watch the games and they're not entertaining. And then all of a sudden during this tournament, it's like, okay, like this is appointment television. Like I will watch.
It's
this
TST.
team.
It feels kind of TST.
It does.
There's a lot of there's different styles of soccer. Like England, a little bit bigger. They hit the ball in, then they try to do it. Like their styles of soccer. Spain, Italy, they're boom, boom. It's going around a lot. We are running transition soccer is what our team is doing right now, where it's like waves, and that provides a lot of excitement. Now, we will concede.
Yeah, the other way.
You will concede on the other side. But if you got guys that run and everybody's fit, which it seems like everybody is, it's like that can wear down. Mexico's one of the most fit teams in the world every single year.
Yeah.
Like that is their thing. And the Mexico-American rivalry in soccer has always been something. Always chippy, always electrifying, always. Now, we've beat them. Okay, we have beat them 5 straight times. This is a brand new team, and Mexico has their guys. And not that we don't, because we might have our guys. This might be the guys that take us to the thing from what I'm watching. Obviously, it's good convo. But just don't be scared to turn on this Team USA team. They're a fun team to watch and fun team to root for. And they were very much counted out. And it's a good time for us to have a good squad.
Yeah, it's a great rivalry. It was always like, when we were a little bit younger, it was always back and forth. The U.S. has had the better of Mexico the last 5 times, which is very, very rare in the rivalry. But since 2003, I think I said this yesterday, only Mexico and U.S. have won the Gold Cup. So they know this is in the stars to be the final.
Yeah, Hembo sent me over a stat actually this morning. United States 2, Guatemala 1. United States advances to record-extending 13th Gold Cup final appearance and first since 2021. They hadn't been there since 2021. Defeated Mexico then. United States has never gone back-to-back Gold Cups without reaching the final since the tournament began in 1991. Wow. Okay, look at us. Shout out to America. Diego Luna here, 2 goals in the 4th minute and the 15th minute. Second player to score 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of a Gold Cup knockout stage match.
Okay, dog.
The other was Brian McBride in 2002 against El Salvador. Brian McBride was a dog. Brian McBride would fit with this team. This is the team that Brian McBride would put his face through somebody else's head, and then he would have a shiner that would be this big, and he would just keep playing. I feel like I've seen him play numerous games with head wrap on as if he just got out of like war. He played for the Columbus Crew, I think, for a while.
He was a backyard soccer goat as well.
Yeah, McBride was an absolute dog there, and obviously Diego Luna is now in that conversation. Luna's first goal at 3:16 is the fastest goal in the United States history in the knockout stage match, any senior tournament, breaking Clint Dempsey's record at 3:22. So we brought up Clint Dempsey to Diego Luna. Look at us.
Wow.
United States improves to 4-0-0 all-time versus Guatemala. Okay, so we're supposed to win.
Own Guatemala.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And the United States has advanced in each of the last 20 CONCACAF Gold Cup knockout matches in which it held the lead at any point dating back to 2005. So we get the lead, we're going to hang on to it.
Yeah.
We're not going to piss anything away.
Not poaches, boys.
And I got people from around the world telling me, this is the CONCACAF. You need to relax. It's like, they're on our schedule, bro.
Sorry.
What do you want?
We don't make it.
if you do recall, there's a reason we're not, okay, in the Europe one. We're not in the Euros. And that thing's getting celebrated tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have the greatest 4th of July weekend of all time. I hope you enjoy your life. I hope you have fun. I hope you look around and say, you know what? This country might not be perfect, but God damn it, it's great to be alive in this country. And we'll have some hot dogs. You guys eat your glizzies. We'll have some family time. And when we return, we'll be live from the Home Run Derby in Atlanta, Georgia. Should be an absolute blast. You people are the greatest people on earth for allowing us to do this for a living. From AJ, myself, and everybody here, have the greatest weekend of all time. Yeah, I feel like I hit it.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
You see, I transitioned in from Euro soccer to 4th of July. That felt pretty professional.
Gotcha.
And obviously, I knew that was happening the entire time while I was talking.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, I had a path.
It's on the prompter. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the finish line for that one. Certainly right in front of us here. That dude's awesome.
Yeah, he was great moxie.
Young, too.
Yeah, comfortable, too.
Yeah.
A little bit of this, a little bit of sit-up.
Good talker.
Got the dyed hair, obviously.
He's only 21 years old?
Yeah.
Might be time to get in the captain's band.
Who is the captain of this team? Do we know?
Coach
Pulisic.
No, but the Gold Cup team.
Oh, Tim Ream.
Oh, yeah, Tim Ream
He's
was
been
just
with
quoted.
the team for a while.
He was just quoted, right? He's elder statesman of the entire thing. What did he say?
He just said this team's kind of been counted out. And for, like, the people who actually cover U.S. soccer, they kind of, no matter what, are going to be pissed off about something. Like, they win last night 2-1. It's like they're mad about the substitutions. It's like those guys were spent that got subbed off, man. It was a very hot night. They played 80 minutes. They were up 2-0. You're going to have to make subs at some point.
Diego got subbed out in 70-something minute. 78th minute. I saw him get subbed out. Yeah, I watched both those games last night. I'm watching soccer right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to save his legs for the finals. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yes, have to. And then he was talking about rehab and recovery today. It's like, that's a lot of running.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything, but Gumpy has the same thing. He's a little bit smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Double the movement.
That's a lot of steps, man. That's a lot more. I think about that.
You're right.
When I'm not like striding out and I'm running, it's like, man, this feels like a longer than 110 yards here. Why is that? Oh, we got to stride out a little bit. We're taking less steps. Diego, when he cooked that guy.
Yeah, what a that's a straight, the fact that this was in this moment, in this game is nuts. It's like something you do in the backyard.
And it rips one, too. I mean, it's not like, what a perfect setup there. Absolutely perfect setup. And then he goes straight to the USA patch. It's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love what he, and then that Berhalter fella there, super handsome. Super duper handsome. Hits a great corner kick, free kick. Also talks very, very well. They got a team, man. I'm telling you. He got that guy on skate. That guy had one of these. He looked like me against Antonio Brown. Bang.
Absolute firecracker.
That's awesome. All right, boys. AJ, let's enjoy this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy America's birthday.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, America.
Let's enjoy a week in the summer next week.
Yep.
Some people might be up to something next week.
Oh.
No wasted days.
Not how Sham says it. Actually up to something.
Yeah, what's he saying?
I don't think he understands.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's okay, though.
It's fine.
But you use it how you want to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You take it however you... Listen, the words to a song or something, however you take it.
Yeah.
That's his interpretation.
He's just trying to get like you, Pat.
Up to something, up to something.
Up to something season.
Breaking news tonight. You are up to something.
Yeah.
You are up to something. Sham's had a hell of a run here these last 2 weeks. Can you FaceTime him so we can congratulate him on a hell of a run these last 2 weeks? I think he, I don't know, maybe earned the respect of some of his peers.
Doubt it.
I know. It's hard to get that.
Yeah. He's got to break the Giannis news. Otherwise, it's all for naught, I guess. That's probably what they're saying.
He's got to break.
DeAndre Ayton goes to the Lakers. Congrats. They got their center.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers were in on that. From my tea leaves understanding, DeAndre Ayton potentially was going to sign with the Pacers. 2 years, $16.6 million. Okay, second year with a player option. That sounds like a 1 year deal right there.
Gets 34 next year because of the Portland as well, so it's much more than that.
Yeah, so it's $50 million, next 2 years.
Awesome. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Not bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah. $42 million next year?
Well, just being able to be like, you know what? Fuck this place. I hate this place. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go somewhere I can win. You guys still got to pay me $36 million. See you later. Figure it out. That's awesome.
Basketball.
Yeah, baby, that's America.
Hey, be who you can afford to be.
Exactly.
And then you end up with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. We just try to FaceTime Shams. No answer. He's probably on with a source.
Yep, of course.
Doing his thing.
What do you think Shams does to relax? Like if he gets a couple of off days, does he do anything?
Eats lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch?
Forked,
Lunch over and over?
forked oatmeal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plugs into the wall.
Oh, he's on SportsCenter right now. He's literally on TV. He does probably.
Plugs into the wall.
Like Jacob Sully.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Pelissero.
Mm-hmm. That ilk.
The insiders, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I fully knew how committed the insiders. I think I knew screen time and shit like that. Whenever Woj retires, the way people were talking about what he did for so long and how he did it, the other insiders, it felt like the other insiders were telling us how this is what the life is.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a shower, you can't even get steam on the window because there might be a call of a source giving you information, and if you don't answer immediately and post it immediately, somebody else will get it, you lose your legitimacy. If you lose too many of them to the other source, all of a sudden you're not an insider anymore. What's your entire job? What's your purpose? It's like, Jesus, you guys don't breathe? No, not without checking our phone first. That's insiders.
Yes.
Shams has been doing that for a long time, and he's worked his way up with the inside information that he's getting and who he's getting it from. Good for him. I'm proud of Shams. Hell of a 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. It's all relationships, you know? They got to always be like working those relationships.
So many fake conversations. No,
it's got to be hard because there's a few real ones mixed in, right, though? Like there has to be.
I don't know. Anytime I talk to any of these insiders, I don't know if this is just 100%, this is just small talk to get through this conversation. And then I go immediately next to, that's every conversation they've ever had with anybody.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you. How you doing? Everything good? Okay, sweet. Anything going on? No, all right. Hope the family's good. See you at the next thing. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Anything going on? I was wondering if you want to do anything. Yep. Hope the family's good. Okay. Hey, and then you get a text. Oh, you got anything? How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing? Hope the family's good.
A lot of that.
So much. How's the boy? I remember seeing the boy in Indianapolis. You got anything going on over there? Like that's a wild profession, but it is attainable if you have the work ethic, which Shams obviously has, and with Schefter and Rap Sheet. What else happened this week? We had a commitment earlier today. 6'7", 350. Did you see that kid, Manny?
He's going into his senior year in high school, right?
Yeah, it's class of 2026.
Right.
So, yeah, he's playing high school football next year.
Give this kid the ball. Put him at tailback in short yardage situations.
No questions asked.
Or anytime, really.
Yeah, who's going to tackle 6'7", 350? I mean, you do tush push with him. Now, obviously, you're losing quite a vital piece to your offensive line and left tackle. But tush push with him under center. What?
He's got good feet. He's got great feet.
6'7", dude. 6'7". That's so tall for a football player. Even for tackles who are normally gigantic. 6'6", big. 6'5", big. 6'7", with the reach that he's going to be able to have and the mobility that he has. And now, granted, we know he's 17, 18 years old. So obviously you have a little bit more bend at that age than you would naturally as you get older. But it's like, look how put together he is. He looks like he's 28 years old, AJ, his body.
I mean, what's he going to look like when he is 28?
Yeah,
like,
still can grow.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
He's still so young, and like he's going to mature and grow into his body. Like what a freak already.
34 offers. I assume he could have had 134.
Oh, look how low he goes too.
Yeah, his ass touches the ground, then he stumbles with it. He's on one leg with 600 pounds while he's stumbling. It's like, man, this is a born offensive tackle right here.
Yep.
That's literally what we have. Now, granted, I assume he could play basketball as well if he wanted to with how good his feet are. But look, I mean,
this kid in the Crocs ain't gonna do much if he's not gonna get this. If he's gonna fall.
Yeah. But we do appreciate him saying, hey, let's go, big dog. You know, a lot of that going on there. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, sweet. That happened. Let's see what else. Caitlin Clark, shotgun and beers. Love that happened.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good thing I learned this week.
Yeah.
That's
she was complaining, saying we get paid more to win the Commissioner's Cup than we do to win the other championship.
Well, they're trying to make the league better for other people. Caitlin Clark, hey, that's good shit.
Yeah.
Because we literally had Peyton Manning on Monday, and he talked about how, I think you're supposed to have a couple Bud Lights, and then if you miss the 8 a.m. meeting, maybe you shouldn't be a quarterback. Maybe that shouldn't be the position that you play if you can't have a couple beers and then show up at 8 a.m. and do your thing. It's like that's a massive piece of like team building, leadership. Now that's old school, and I've never seen a women's basketball locker room. That was the most I've seen of it, and how they interact and how the team operates. But it's like chugging beers, champagne on the lives, doing the entire thing. It's like that looks like a tight team over there. That looks like a very tight team at the Fever.
Yeah, I just know it honestly from coaching 5th and 6th grade girls basketball. Like, girls bond together quickly, and they will kill for each other. Like, they are ruthless in a great way, like, and loyal. And if they think somebody's messing with their teammate, they have no problem ganging up and saying, we found our target, we are going at her the rest of the game. Like, it's cool to see how loyal they are and how they protect each other.
See, on that note now, Caitlin was an outsider going into the league. It felt like that was kind of a narrative of like, hey, this is different here than it was at Iowa. And now it feels like she is slowly earning the respect, other than being voted the 9th best guard. Right. And nobody put her at 9. It was just counting the amount of votes. She had the 9th highest votes. So it's like, that is definitely still... Yeah. That is definitely still a message from the current players to her. But as the WNBA continues to be like, is Caitlin Clark playing? No. She can be on the sideline, though? Yeah.
Put it on TV.
Put it on TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And can we please tell the cities that she's going to be there? Can we please? Because these tickets are dropping from $400 a pop to $14 a pop. Can we say she'll throw out a T-shirt at halftime or something? Can we do? Is there something we could do? You know? It's like... I'm excited for her to get back healthy. When's that happen? I think she was doing a workout yesterday. I guess Coach Stephanie White was on her hip. She was doing some drills at the end of practice. I think she's back to moving.
Probably just wait a little bit at this point with the All-Star break right around the corner. Get her
and her Commissioner 100%. Cup champ.
Yeah, Commissioner Cup championship, obviously. So we'll see.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Shams Charania.
Good baby, Sean.
Sean. Yo. Hey, all we wanted to say was you've had a great 2 weeks, bub. Like a great 2 weeks. Not that the previous, however many weeks you've been doing this business of living on your phone with small talk that doesn't really matter, but with the information that comes from all the small talk, we just wanted to say you absolutely murdered it the last 2 weeks, man. What a great run for you.
Man, I appreciate you guys so much. You know, Pat, you know how much I appreciate you and the boys. Always have my back, always looking out for me. And it's just fun when we make magic happen on this show time after time. And just know you're the man. I appreciate your friendship.
Okay.
From day one. From the beginning.
We appreciate
it. I get too sentimental. I get too sentimental over here.
Yeah, I don't hear it. Hey, have an incredible 4th of July weekend. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate you. Happy 4th to all of you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Strong. Happy 4th of July.
Baby Sean.
I didn't even think about the return there.
Yeah. Shut up.
I don't want to hear it. No. Because we are lucky. Like yesterday, just broke news on the show.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Middle of the summer. And I've seen some people say, you guys are talking a lot more basketball than you used to. It's like, we're getting accents, brother.
Yeah.
Why would we not?
And it's not football season right now.
At all.
But it's also, like, it's been good shit to follow along.
Yeah.
With. It's been good. Like, even MLB. I've been following along with the Major League Baseball season this year. I feel like I have been because of what we do on this show. Very lucky for it. And it's like, I've enjoyed talking about it happening. You know, because these times for us back in the day, this was like a 2-3 month period that felt like, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years.
It used to be so much worse.
4 years.
Can't stress how much worse it used to feel than it does now.
I've heard some OG listeners, you know, the ones that absolutely murdered me because the show was going to change whenever it went to ESPN and sell out piece of shit and all that stuff. They said some of them say that those old shows were better than these shows. We're at the NBA Finals. I don't know what you're judging it against. I guess just our dumbass conversations.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like things evolve. We can't really just like jack around and like just talk about fucking nothing for 3 hours. Sorry, it just doesn't work like that. Like,
I mean, we could. There'll be days where that will happen,
without a doubt.
But if we're getting, hey, you want to go to the NBA Finals, and do you think it's like, yeah,
it's in your city?
You want to talk to UD? Obviously, a guy who's just multiple time champion. Yeah.
You want to go to the home run derby?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all these leagues taking care of us.
Shout out.
Certainly.
The MLB, hey,
it's pretty awesome.
The MLB went to bat, pun intended,
really?
Big time.
for us. Yeah, they went to bat.
That's awesome.
Because I think we weren't going to be able to make the cut with space or something from the company that is producing it, which is ESPN. So I don't think there was any room. And then the MLB was like, there's room. Yeah, we can definitely make some room for you. No problem at all. And it's like, really? They're like, you guys want to bring the show to the All-Star week or whatever? We're like, yes. They're like, yeah, we would want you to be at the All-Star thing. And it's like, thank you. And then I immediately say, we went after Manfred pretty good, that piece of metal thing. And they go like, he has thick skin, and obviously maybe you get a chance to talk to him about it all. It's like, okay.
Nope.
Shout out to the MLB.
Yeah.
We appreciate the hell out of the opportunity. And now we're going to be there. It's like, all of this is so crazy. It's out of control. And we're trying to do sports justice. I feel like we do try that.
Yeah.
I try to talk about every sport that's happening because sports fans should know that there are sports happening. And I think that is like a service that we owe sports fans. But every once in a while, there ain't shit to talk about. And I'll tell you what, we will dive into some dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's going on? Huh? That's not a street light.
No.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's not a street light, AJ.
Yeah. Is that a new video?
Yes, it's new.
That's what I tried to find out.
Man, it's so like I agree. What is it? What's happening?
And also, whole neighborhood. The entire hood comes out and goes, that ain't a street light. They start screaming, and then this is the best quality that we've had. But on that note, could be absolutely nothing, could be fake. AI Grok could create anything.
You're right. 100% right.
How did it end though? Did it fly away or just disappear? Do we know anything about that?
It killed everyone.
No, it did not.
Oh,
These
no.
people are still alive. Anyways, could be fake, could be Grok, could be what is that? Entire hood, neighborhood says, excuse me, what is that? It gets very loud. Hopefully everybody's okay. And if it happens in our lifetime that we get a chance to go shake these things' hands, we would like to be on a list of people that get to go shake their hands.
Sure. Please.
And if that's AI or Grok, mad respect.
Without a doubt.
And if that's just somebody that built that in their backyard, somebody go send this fucker up in the air. Turn on that spotlight real quick.
Certainly possible.
Super genius.
Mad Mike or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Ziz.
Rest in peace.
Phew. Yeah.
Dust.
All of them.
Rest in
Nothing left.
Rest in dust.
Like that sub down there, unfortunately.
Ocean
I watched that documentary, man. That was wild.
Insane.
I didn't watch the doc, but from the accounts of people that did watch the doc, what we were saying about it being a shoebox going under to the Titanic was accurate, I think.
Every single person that worked on it said this thing is going to fail. And they tried to stop the guy numerous times, and he would not be stopped, and it exploded.
Even the way they closed it, they just bolted it together.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like...
I wouldn't get in that thing on... I wouldn't get that thing on land, how they bolt you in. Like, I was like, I don't want to be in there even without going underwater. Like, I don't want to rely on these people to have to get me out, too.
I get a little claustrophobic as well. I don't necessarily love that, but water really scares me. Water, I don't mind looking at water. Being in water really scares me. How
like 10,000 feet down? That would scare me a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because there's no exit there. You're kind of stuck in the pressure and the no oxygen and the who knows what fish are dying in.
Yeah, so dark.
Cold.
That shoebox could have got swallowed, in theory, by something under there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just swallowed, let alone...
It still might have. We don't know.
No, I think they know.
Well, I mean, at this point, it could, a 10-ounce fish could have, because it kind of crushed up into like a little tiny cube.
The pressure.
Yeah. So.
When you go down an elevator and your ears feel a little bit, it's like
exactly.
Or a plane, you feel a little bit. They had a lot of motion.
Mm-hmm.
It was quick, they said, right?
Yeah.
Had to have been.
Yeah. Terrible.
Maybe.
Because drowning.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, they actually didn't dive into that part.
Because the air might have ran out, and then it would just be a slow...
Drowning's worse for me. I don't know. Fire, I guess, bad. That would be a terrible way. Drowning, dying is inevitable for all of us. I'm just talking about ways that it would take place. I think the reason why I don't love going in water much is because drowning feels like...
It'd be tough.
Tough, because you're fighting, I think. And then you're just, there's nothing going there. Fire, crazy.
Being buried alive would be tough.
Yeah.
Oh, tough. It's kind of absence of air. No.
Yeah. When you slow, but I'm saying buried alive where there's enough air for like a little bit, but eventually your air will run out and you're just, in a box or something and you have no room. You can't even like lift your arm.
I think that was a fear factor thing, right? They put you in that one would freak me out. I do get a little claustrophobic. I don't.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Yeah, I don't enjoy the tight areas. Even elevators sometimes would freak me out. You go to like a stadium or one of these events and everybody's trying to get to the same thing at the same time. And it's like there's a weight limit on here for a reason, I assume. I just assume that they put a weight limit on here for, they don't just pick a random number. And then when the thing's beeping and there's a crowd in there and then that door shuts somehow because they override it.
Yep.
And then we try to roll, it's like, this is my nightmare right here. Because what am I doing? I'm standing in this place because there's no room to sit down with it's so hot. Oxygen's going to run out of here soon.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
people are gonna start peeing on themselves and dumping their pants like 4 minutes in because they think they're never getting out.
Yeah, I didn't even think about people dumping all over themselves in there because how scared they are. But I might be one of them.
You never know.
Sure.
No, you wouldn't.
Everybody keep calm, but we need you to exit the arena.
Yeah.
You do got to designate a P corner.
Yeah, but what if there is no corner to be designated? Like I've been in a couple of those elevators where it's just
circle
set. We're tight. This one.
Someone's got to drink it.
Well, if you got a lifestyle.
Got to go directly into somebody's mouth.
And one person is that responsibility
One
getting
person
passed?
No, one person has to volunteer, or it needs to be like a leader elected, and he nominates someone. We will pee in your mouth,
and we will vote. Everybody thinks this should be.
That'd be terrible.
That would be tough.
I'm taking a leadership position then, just to make sure that I'm not the person they have to pee at.
That's like those reality shows. You really learn a lot about how you felt about in the room that you're in there quickly.
Yeah, that's not fair. Everyone should just pee in the person to the right of the mouth.
I agree.
So I want to be standing way left.
Yep.
Way left.
Yeah, first in line.
L1 is where you want to be.
You got some dude that had 40 beers the night before he pees for 4 minutes straight.
He's hydrated though.
So bad.
It's good quality.
Like all my buddies' dads growing up, they brag how I drank 30 beers before I even took a leak, and then they peed for 11 minutes long.
Yeah, it's going somewhere, pal. It's going somewhere. Yeah. I'll tell you what, some of those morning pisses where you're just standing there.
Oh, the best.
The best.
Greatness.
I had one let's say 5:45 the other morning. Didn't know it was going to be the one for the morning. And I walked over there, and it was just, it felt like 10 minutes. Felt like it was 10 minutes. Great. Hands on wall at one point.
Sure.
Just like full yawn, stretch out.
Hands on the hips. I love dudes at the urinals with the hands on the hips, just so relaxed.
Legends.
Just letting it go.
Yeah. All right, I hope everybody has a few of those.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, for sure. It's 4th of July.
Hope you have a great one. Hope you have a great 4th of July. Hope we celebrate the shit out of it. Hope we understand that America might not be perfect, but, we're certainly better than a lot of places. All of them, I'd say, personally. I love being home. I love living here. Anytime I travel somewhere else, I can't wait to get back to America, but I understand, there are certain things in America that need to get fixed. Will they ever be able to be? I don't know. Is it just reality of life that there's going to be disagreements and maybe we'll never be able to hit a utopia? Potentially. But I know we shouldn't be scared to celebrate the shit out of the land that we're from and the land we represent every single day. We're lucky to do as such. So tomorrow we'll enjoy 4th of July. Then we'll be back whenever we're down there in Atlanta for the Home Run Derby in the All-Star Week. And I believe we're going to be heading to Los Angeles shortly thereafter that as well for a big-time show.
Oh.
An award show.
Okay.
It's being hosted by who?
Not who I think.
Shane Gillis.
Okay, that one, yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there. Thank God Shane's hosting that thing. That was a big choice, I assume, by a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that had to get run through the levels, didn't it?
I would assume, yeah. And the fact that it did, or maybe there's just a couple people that make actual decisions and everybody else doesn't matter. And those 2 people or 3 people say, this is actually what we're doing here. And we're going to turn this into we're going to have, I think it's going to be a great night.
It's going to be a fun night.
I think it's going to be a great celebration of sports, I think. And sports are the best because what? They bring everybody together. Let's enjoy the shit out of all of this life. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change our life. We're in this thing together. Have an incredible break. We will see you on the other side. AJ, thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Go Joey Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Go Jaws.
Happy 4th. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Peace.
Goodbye.